It is 6 a.m. from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Good morning. I am Justin Hawkins. The Titans were on the practice field yesterday for day 2 of OTAs, and quarterback Cam Ward spoke to the media after practice about taking advantage of his reps in practice despite splitting with other quarterbacks.
Just getting a lot of mental reps, whether Will's up, BA, or Tim is up. Then also just going through it in my head, the formations, the play call, the motions if we have one. So really just, getting understanding of the full offense.
Nashville SC last night closed out their 3-game road trip against the Columbus Crew and extended their undefeated streak to 9 games and a 2-2 draw in Columbus. Sam Surridge and Hani Mukhtar had the goals for Nashville. 2 conference finals games last night and 2 teams advancing to the finals. In the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder blew out the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 5, 124-94, and go on to win the Western Conference Finals. 2025 MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had another stellar performance with 34 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals. The Thunder are back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012. In the NHL, the Florida Panthers win the Eastern Conference Finals after a 5-3 win last night over the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 5. The defending Stanley Cup champs are back in the Stanley Cup Final for the 3rd consecutive season. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome in. Good morning, party people. Hey.
Good morning.
What show is this?
Hey, it's Ramon and Will.
Oh, no, it's Ramon and Dawn.
And Dawn, R&D.
What's up? Hey. Hi, everybody. I don't think I've been up this early in about 8 years.
In about 8 years. Well, besides family things like baby Babs or the dogs or something like that.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Don't do that.
Don't even get me started.
Don't do that because I'm in that phase now with mine too.
But let me say this. Good morning to everybody. The chat's already jumping.
It is.
At 6 a.m. I love y'all.
Yeah, they're in.
Okay.
Hey, we got some savages in here too now, Babs. They're ready to roll. They get started with us and the rest of Middle Tennessee and anywhere at this point with the app.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I normally tune in to you guys about 9 a.m.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, Babs.
Unless I'm up early going to the airport where I always text you guys, hey, sounded good. I'm on my way out of town. But, okay. So I know Bruce in the chat. Listen to Bab, so bubbly this morning. I know. It's so weird. I've already had like 5 things of coffee.
If they say you're good this morning, I'm taking credit for it, just so you know. Just so you know, okay?
Can I say this, though? Okay, so I kind of had like PTSD from my morning news anchor days. For those that don't know, I anchored the morning news for WKRN.
How long can I ask?
6 years.
6 years,
Almost
okay.
6 years.
Okay.
And we started at 4 a.m.
Ooh.
So that's like a 2 a.m. wake-up call.
Yeah.
And, have to be showered, hair done, makeup on.
It's a first world country, Babs. Yes.
Yeah, full transparency.
Yeah.
I did not shower this morning. But I'm here. And I have clothes on.
Yeah.
And I did put makeup on.
You're presentable as hell this morning, Babs. Let's go, man.
That's debatable.
Hey, let's go.
So
can I do the intro one time too?
Yeah.
Welcome in to Ramon and Will, but today it is Ramon and Babs or Ramon and Dawn. Brewed up.
We could go Babs.
By Scooter's Coffee, by the way. Shout out to Scooter's Coffee because we got a crew that's riding with us, that's waking us up and everything, Babs, and they're good to us. So I had to shout them out early this morning.
You know I love me some Scooter's Coffee,
You were
right?
telling me.
I have worked the Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl the last 2 years for ESPN.
Frisco, Texas.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes, absolutely.
Which is an awesome little city, by the way.
I had an amazing steak at the Super Bowl that I played in Frisco, Texas, because we were in Fort Worth and we needed a nice steakhouse to go to. So we went to Frisco. It was what was it, Del Frisco? I think it was Del Frisco, as a matter of fact.
Well, there you
Ran
go.
into Gruden there, by the way. Awesome
nice.
time. Yes, me and Marquise was sitting down for dinner. We was like, bro, we got to go do something. It was like a Thursday, maybe Friday before the Super Bowl. And we went and sat down and had a steak at Del Frisco's in Frisco, Texas, by the way.
Hold on. Did you chat with Gruden?
Absolutely chatted with him. He
He's the
knew
best.
me. He knew Marquise. He gave a rundown of our career so far and stuff like
He
that.
loves him some Tennessee
He
Vols.
does. He does. Although he teased us for years. He teased us for years.
I don't think that was necessarily his fault.
You don't think it was his fault? Who was it then?
Vol Twitter.
See, I won't even push back. I won't even push back at all, Babsy. But you were about to say something before I cut you off with the scooters.
Oh, yeah. So so it's great because that game starts at 9:00 Central Time, right? What a perfect bowl game for Scooter's Coffee.
Easy.
So, and they are phenomenal. So they let me come in to one of their stores. I taught me how to make a like 6 espresso shot drink, you know?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's like
And then delivered it to me on the sideline at halftime
That's too real.
of the game. I'm like,
First class.
I love Scooters.
First class, okay. Shout out to Aaron and Mary, okay, who's our affiliates here that we do business with, man. So shout out to them this morning. Lovely family, great kids, by the way, too. Phenomenal. But I'm glad to have Scooters on our side, and we'll get a little bit more of that this morning too, by the way.
Yes,
Can I
I'm
be
gonna need
honest?
an update. I'm gonna need a new coffee soon.
On the way, okay? On the way. But what I will say, can I be honest with you?
Yeah,
I've been looking forward to this one.
you have.
I have been looking forward to this one. When they told me we were doing rent a host, okay, like
Okay,
or babysit
host.
mom, yeah, with an ST.
That
at
was
the
very
end.
close to something that shouldn't
I
have been.
throw S's on the end of my words like Kroger's, the
Well, you
Sonics
better
and
throw
stuff.
the S on the end of that one.
Throw- with the T, Babs, okay? With the T.
Rent a host.
Yeah, rent a host for the week, man. I was just like, yes. Babs and I couldn't wait. I'm looking forward to it. What I was most excited about for you, no traffic.
That was beautiful.
I know.
I will say this. So I mentioned kind of like, the PTSD from my morning news days that sucked the life out of my soul getting up that early. But
Has it always? But you're an athlete, though, Babs. Like most athletes get up early for training because why? Coaches just want to make sure that you're. No, not really coaches. The weight room staff want to make you as miserable as they possibly can do because why? It's mental toughness.
like spring and summer at Auburn for volleyball.
yeah.
Hey, those workouts started at 5:45 a.m.
See, that sucks.
Roll
Trust
in
me.
from the party the night
Yeah.
before, no sleep, go work. Just kidding. I never did that. No. I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm a has-been athlete. That's the difference.
has-been, stop.
And also, this time frame's okay. Like 6 a.m. driving in, I was like, oh, this is like, it was almost peaceful. But like a 2 a.m. wake up call, that's not getting up early. That's just weird.
That's like graveyard hours right there. Like legitimately, like I one thing I used to think about, like if I did go to college, didn't go to college, if I did like go work at like Tennessee Electric Plating, which was the factory back in Ripley, Tennessee, that everybody went to. I was just because if you didn't go to college, you worked in a factory. It was one of those. I think they were linked to GM. They were a GM electroplating factory. My mom worked there for a lot of years too. So because of that, I was just like, look, if this college and football thing don't work out, I'm not working third shift at Tennessee Electric Plating. Like I'm not doing that because I've seen people live that, to your point. Going to work at 10 o'clock, getting off at 5 in the morning, or whatever the case may be, is just like, that seems miserable. So I couldn't imagine what y'all do on the news. I know Will's fiance, Peyton, I think she works those hours too
Same
on news
exact
too.
shift that I did. Same
Get
show.
out of here.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Super cool. She's super
Like
cool, by
Tina
the way.
in the chat, Morning Babs used to get up and watch you before my shift at the hospital. So many people that would either be coming off medical shifts or overnight shifts that would tune in at 4 a.m. Like, I love you all.
Man, that's
guys
awesome
are the
right there.
best.
You don't realize, we were speaking about something a second ago. You told me, you said, Ramon, don't get mad if I yell in the studio. I was like, it's no problem. It's There's no problem with you yelling in here. I speak loud anyway. I'm sure the producers that mix us lower my voice, my mic, and I'm sure they do the same with Savage, too. It must be a hereditary thing because I heard my niece speak this weekend, too, over the phone. And I was like, Renardo, my other brother, the one that nobody says they mad. Nardo, daughter,
Louisville, right?
Louisville, yes.
Because I went and worked a Louisville game, and Slay was like, if you need anything, Nardo's there.
He's in the trenches. You hear me? Whatever you need, he got you. And so detailed in everything that he does. He's the most responsible brother.
Really?
Yeah. Most detailed.
I feel like you're the most responsible brother. Listen, I love Slay, but he ain't that.
He ain't that.
Yeah, he ain't that.
He just flows. He's just water out here, huh? I'm most
he's just
responsible.
moving.
He's the most detailed is what I would call Nardo. And I was like, Nardo, man, Jamie's voice is loud. He was like, well, my wife tells me mine is loud too. And I get that all the time these days too. Like, I have to watch myself at sporting events.
Ooh, and your son is like a legit baseball guy.
He's coming into it. He had a good showcase the last couple of days, man. I think he got some good feedback, but I always try to find a corner to talk to myself because
nobody puts baby in the corner.
I have to, Babs, because I'm a sports guy, number one, and I know what stuff's supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like, and all. So I try to keep my comments low and my voice because you know what happens when I yell? People turn around for multiple reasons.
Yeah, everybody knows your voice.
It's the voice.
And you're also kind of like not a small guy.
Yeah, I'm a large guy.
You can't
100%.
hide.
So when I get loud, that one, they see me walk into these venues and it was like, who the hell is that guy? He must play for the Titans. We're like, man, y'all be cool. Let me just come in here and just be all right. I did see a guy yesterday, though, when I walked in, and I was going to have a conversation with him. If y'all see me at the parks, around, wherever in the streets, like, y'all can say what's up. But there's a guy from Brentwood Academy at a BA hat on. His kid was doing the same event as my kid was last night. And I was just like, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey. He's like, oh, I know who you are. And I was just like, when you know me, I want to have a conversation, figure out who the hell you are, too. Let's have a conversation. He ended up moving on. I was just like, so whoever the BA dad was last night, what up? Okay.
Maybe he didn't want to talk to you.
Look at me. Let me go to my corner.
Are you not sad? That's not the right word.
Yeah.
But
sad
that your son plays baseball and not football, or are you glad?
I'm glad. He's
are.
a baseball, basketball player, period.
Like
now, stature, build. Like there's a world where I had somebody say, everybody want to. I'm always trying to turn tackles to guards, and I'm always trying to turn basketball players into football players. I see it. Okay.
I mean, Ron Slay was a hell of a tight end for
2 years.
Game.
Yeah, he said 2 years. He got a state championship. He said.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is?
What's the problem?
He didn't like getting hits.
That's why
he wanted to deliver the hits in the boom boom room like that. He didn't like the real contact in football.
That's what it was, acting like a football player. But no, I'm not mad at his journey. Because his build, his temperament, his abilities is baseball. Like, he played football too, though, and held his own for the most part. Like, legitimately, in this championship game, he played at Beach in the 8th grade, and they had a kid that was I'm talking about, like, he was active on the edge, and they put RJ, who's the tight end, on him. RJ shut it down, and I was like, hell yeah, it's my kid. You know what happened after that game, though, when they won the county championship? He was like, Dad, I'm done with football now.
He's like, I'm out.
But you know what? I was okay with that because he finished the season. They won the county championship. He understood what he wanted to do. I'm a huge advocate of don't lie to yourself. Like, don't lie to yourself. If this is for you, it's not. It's the same conversation I had with my youngest, though, after last year, Babsy. You're about to get in this world, and you've been in this world. Travel?
No, Savage.
Yeah.
I'm in the hellish world of travel dance right now.
You're going to have to break this down to me. It's bad. It's bad. How do you travel? One of my good friends, Inky Johnson, his daughter does it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I need some positive reinforcement from Inky then.
You missed midweek motivation yesterday, Babsy. Ink's in it, and I know they be in like Arizona. Well, they're in Georgia. They do Florida. They do everywhere. But with that being said, I did have that conversation with Miles, my youngest. I was like, hey, I was like, last year we spent a crap ton. I was about to say what Savage said on air yesterday. We spent a crap ton.
Yeah, he dropped the Shiano.
You got him yesterday. Yeah, he did. It was because he was hurting. But we spent a crap ton of bread last year traveling. Like, RJ's visiting campuses. Miles had, like, week-long tournaments. There was a lot of everything going on, Babs. If I can give you the numbers of what we spent last summer, you say, no, you're an idiot. But it's for travel because there's no local sports that you can do like that anymore. And I talked to him. I was like, hey, kid, what you think you're ultimately going to do? And he was like, play football? I say, yes. So let's talk about baseball real quick.
Yeah.
And it was just a decision. It's like, man, look, if you're not going to take it like all the way to college, let's focus on football, basketball, mostly football. Now I'm coaching middle school football on top of it, Babs. You saw?
Good for you.
Shut up.
It's good
okay?
for you. You know what it
Shut
teaches
up.
you?
What?
A heck of a lot of patience.
Yes, it does. But I will say every day I'm out there, I will say, I don't dread going out there, but it's just like, oh, let's go fight this sun. By the end of practice, I'm so happy to be around them boys, man. It is such, like, it's a new story.
It's fulfilling, though.
It really is. It's a new story every single day, and I love being around them, man.
Ooh, I might see coaching for real in your future.
Stop this.
Once your kids get older?
Stop this.
Your retirement job of coaching?
Stop this. I'm going to retire 5th time, okay? My wife already said I got 6 jobs. I legitimately got 6 jobs out here.
Hey, I feel you.
Listen to me. I'm being pulled, but...
We're lucky, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Yes, we are.
All right, so let me just go ahead and tell you kind of what this show's going to look like this morning. If you want to get in, by the way, you can call at any time, 615-737-1045. I don't know how you morning people do. I don't know if you guys call and chat a lot, you morning peeps. But we are, so, I concocted this next segment because I'm selfish and want to pick Ramon Foster's offensive line brain. But it's O-line 101 for Babs, basically, is what Ramon called it.
I love it.
So we're going to kind of dig in deep, talking about differences, like from elementary, learning about the O-line, to more intermediate stuff, from pulling, I call them super wins.
Super wins.
But that's because we just had on Ryan Nelson, EA Sports motion capture actor
That was
yesterday.
cool, by the way, hearing that. I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed this conversation.
I met him through the UFL. He plays for the Michigan Panthers. I've covered them twice. And so it was fun to hear him talk about like the filming of EA Sports games.
Nuts.
But from an offensive lineman perspective, he talked about filming the pancake blocks, the super wins is what they call them, even the super losses, all that. So we'll kind of dig into that, the different skill sets for tackles, guards, centers, and we'll tie it back to the Titans as well and kind of talk offensive line and pick your wonderful big brain. Because, by the way, offensive linemen are all smart.
Usually.
Yeah. So we'll do that. We have Coach Mack at 7:20. We'll talk to him. We'll talk a little bit about the meetings in Destin and college football and NIL and all of this drama going around the college game. And I want to kind of ask you what you think about maybe a collective bargaining in the future.
Love Kirby's quote from it, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where
you
we'll
guys,
start.
I can't wait for you guys to hear
Love
Kirby talk about it. And then we'll talk about some of the sound that came out from the Titans OTA yesterday in our 8 o'clock hour. Then we've got Peter Burns from SEC Network. He's been in Destin. He was in Hoover. Dude is just
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes.
And is super entertaining. So he'll join us at about 9:20 today. So that's kind of our loose show today. But Uncle Bob, peace, you're already leaving us? It's only 6.
He got to go. Usually, I think he and the wife usually have something going on, or it's something with the grandkids. Uncle Bob, he'll be back. He's usually back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's back.
Right.
Don't worry. Don't fret.
All right.
This is like Jake for y'all, okay? Like,
Jake and Brentwood
always comes back.
Yeah, never sounds sober. All right, so that's what we got going on today. Lots of fun stuff. And if you want in, call us 615-737-1045. This is Ramon and Will on 1045 The Zone. Is that not the best way to start this segment?
It really is, Babs. I'll be quite honest with you. It gets me going every single time. And you didn't even have to use that anthem this morning. That's what's cool about it. Nobody was in your way. The gate automatically opened up for you outside the studio, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like the vibes, as people like to say sometimes, they were high for a dawn. Babette Davenport.
Look at you using the middle name.
Listen.
By the way, we tried to get Joan Jett on the show.
Yeah,
when she performed here. Totally denied.
She did.
I'm like, your song is my anthem.
Like, what are we doing this for? It's not like
I
we're
need
some
you in my life.
podunk like little station or nothing. Like, come on out here and have a good time with us.
Yeah.
We're gonna treat you well.
She was like, we politely declined.
Politely.
She did. I'll say this. She did send me a grab bag.
Okay. Oh, well, see, she really meant it.
With
then.
her newest CD.
Did you throw it out the window?
And an I Love Joan Jett sweatshirt.
Really?
But it was one of those crop tops that Mama can't wear that.
We're mom phase now.
Like,
all right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure my daughter would be like, why is your stomach showing?
Does she have that much personality?
Who?
Baby Babs.
Are you kidding me?
It's
I'm screwed.
Really?
Screwed.
Okay, that sucks.
I will say this morning, we're going to talk about the O-line, I promise. But
Yeah,
I
we'll
will
get
say
to
this
it.
morning, so she came down in the middle of the night, hopped in bed with us, which happens sometimes, right? And then I wake up at like 4 a.m. Well, first of all, I woke up at 3 a.m. because my jerk dog decided that he had to go to the bathroom.
How old is he?
He's 10.
The Zeus does the exact same thing. I'm talking about dead asleep, and all I hear is on a
Yep.
walk into the bedroom, and he'll wait, and then he'll huff, then he'll sneeze, and then he'll walk backwards, and then walk forward like, big fella, you getting up, or we gonna have to do this in the house? So I gotta get up. So
You have no choice.
Yes, I got you on
And
that
it's
one.
like the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And I love this dog. This is my most expensive rescue dog ever. The one that has
An
two.
expensive rescue. That don't even sound right.
Right? The one that has 2 new ACLs. And then broke his back basically and was
will not
paralyzed.
laugh at
That all that happened when we were at the Super Bowl, and
Lord.
they're like, you have 5 minutes to decide if you want to do this, ridiculously expensive surgery to save
I
his
got
life.
pressure like that
I'm
one
like,
time
ugh.
on a chocolate lab.
Yeah.
I did get pressure like that. He ended up having some. He took something he wasn't supposed to.
Oh dear.
I may have accidentally given it to him.
Ramon.
He was hurting bad, and I tried to help him out. This is like early young me at the time, and I had no idea that dogs can have like an aspirin. And
Ramon,
I had
did
no
you save
idea.
his life?
I did save his life.
All right.
100%.
All right, you're better off.
And it cost too, okay? And they knew I could afford it also, Babs,
Mm-hmm.
and I paid it happily. And he was a good dog until he pulled Keisha down while she was pregnant when he was walking her. But I sent him to a nice farm, not the one in the sky, an actual farm.
Oh,
I sent him
okay.
to an actual farm, and the people loved him to death. I actually got a...
labs belong on farms. Yeah, so they can run.
We were in a townhome and 2 little kids and stuff like that. We didn't need them at that time, but Zeus has been phenomenal though. But I had to do the exact same thing as you did.
Middle of the night.
Yeah, it's like, you want to do this IV thing for 24 hours because you can, or you can let them die because I was just like, oh my gosh, okay,
No,
we'll do
you're
it.
never going to let him die.
Never though,
Now, I did make the decision without clearing it with Mr. Babs.
because it's expensive.
Blue Pearl, man. I should have a punch card there. I called Mr. Babs and I was like, hey, here's what happened. He's paralyzed. He needs the surgery. I had 5 minutes to decide and I told him to go ahead and do it. He goes, what was the cost?
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it did.
You can't put a price on the love of my life. The first one before you.
First
bud.
one
Yeah.
before you, exactly.
It's like,
I'm glad
okay.
you smoothed that over, okay?
Yeah, no, I didn't smooth it over. We still talk about it. Especially when he wakes us up at 3 a.m. like he did this morning. And then baby Babs hears me get up and starts bawling.
Oh.
Mommy, you're going to football again? I'm like, nope. I'll be home this afternoon. You'll see me tonight. It's okay.
it is
So I had
all
to
right,
leave the
babes.
house early.
No doubt.
So it was a hell of a morning.
Well, welcome to the show.
Welcome to Ramon and Will. Okay, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
O-line talk. So I always say, I'm like, I just want to sit you in a corner and be like, hey, teach me about O-line play. Because I don't know if you know, like I've never played the position.
I've heard it.
Now, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I can't talk about it.
No doubt.
But you have the unique ability to really dive into the offensive line and offensive line play in the NFL. So I want to start this conversation. It's basically O-line 101.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, and I want to start it with, we were talking about Bussin' with the Boys in their interview with J.C. Latham.
Really good. Y'all need to go check them out. Taylor and Will do a really good job.
They really do. And this kind of leads into this broader topic of offensive linemen in the NFL, really in college too, just the position as a whole. So I want to play this from Bussin' with the Boys and J.C. Latham talking about kind of basically it's the difference between offensive linemen and defensive linemen and what you can do.
He's so spot on, too.
Listen to this.
I definitely do.
I feel like you get to be a little bit more disruptive.
Yeah, it's not a lot of control over there. Like I look at guys who like Jalen Carter, for example. He's a freaking dog, right? I saw one play where he played a double team and he like swam out of both like the guard and the tackle, but he was able to get all the way back into the gap and make the play for like a tackle for loss or like a 1 yard gain, whatever it was. But like playing O-line, you can't really have that kind of failure in your technique. It really wouldn't work. Like the play, like you have to have perfect technique for the success of the play, and seeing D linemen out there, they just like ram through gaps. It's not a lot of like, I mean, obviously some technique to it, but like you put your head down and run through a guy's face, like it don't take too much else. So.
Yeah. JC summed it up perfectly. That's why I jokingly say like defensive linemen are just mindless athletes that just run and make plays. And but JC was right, and I'll correct it too. Like there's a method to the madness. It's controlled chaos. They're more like bulls in a china shop, and we're like big guys in a bar. Hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me. I see the bathroom. I'm just trying to get by. Like there's a difference. It makes sense to you, Babs?
Yes.
It's essentially what it is. I hate going to bars, by the way. It's for that reason. It's like I bump into little people all the time, but never
Why
mind.
On little people.
Well, listen to me. Move out my way. My wife loves it going through the airport or church, though. It's like moving through. I'm still like a pulling guard for my family, by the way. But it is a difference of positions, man. And here's the thing, too. There's a method to it moving up. Like on my youngest plays left guard right now, and has played on the offensive line, defensive line, too. When I'm coaching them on the defensive line, I'm attack, get upfield. Watch the ball, get upfield. That's the way I coach them up. But like,
we need to see more of the Titans this year.
100%.
By the way,
we need that.
Just go.
Just go.
Just
get
go.
busy. Yeah, Hainsworth conversation with y'all was 100% good.
And that's
he was
what he
speaking
said.
about like, look, why make big dudes go sideways? Create chaos up the field.
Yep.
And in that chaos is this, like there's different levels and different phases. So like on my youngest right now, I'm only introducing him to the work ethic of what offensive line play is with all of my boys on the offensive line at TW Hunter. Shout out to them. What I'm teaching them is how to finish, how to fight, what it means to play the position, and you are important too. That's what you have to establish because nobody really wants to play. Nobody really wants to play offensive line, to be quite honest with you. I fought it for the longest.
Especially with 7-on-7 nowadays.
And then it's the other part, like, I don't get my name called unless it's something bad. Like, that was my reasoning for not wanting to play. I was trying to play D-end, D-tackle all of my career. Like, when I finally committed to the University of Tennessee, all I was worried about was the number. Like, did they give me a cool number? Because that's all I get as an offensive lineman. I got 78, okay? And with that being said, from like middle school to high school, you add a little bit more technique to it, and you add strength, and you add your athletic ability to it. And it's still not very technical, although I'm seeing these 7-on-7. Well, it's like 7-on-7 for offensive line now. These O-line, D-line showcases that they have.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Why?
I do. It's unrealistic, almost in a sense. You got these young fellas that have probably no real understanding of what technique is, how to block, and all they're doing is just running through each other's faces with no helmets on, no pads, no anything. And I just think it's a misrepresentation of what the actual drill should be in those moments right there. Like, I know there's some physicality that needs to be shown in those O-line, D-line camps that they have, but it's a better method of doing that is what I would say. I hate to see young kids running through each other's face with no protection. Yeah. We're trying to make the game safer. But that's that side of it too. And when you get to college, there's more technique and you want to be more refined. You get a little bit more savvy. I will say this, what I learned from middle school all the way to the NFL, the more you learn, the more advanced you get, the less movements you have. If you watch young
Which is
offensive linemen.
completely different than the other side of the ball.
Oh, my gosh. Yes,
Right?
absolutely. Like,
I mean, and we talk about pass rush and your secondary move. And your
absolutely.
adding another.
We want to be efficient. We want to be exact. We want to be very direct in what we're doing, because Taylor said it later in that clip. He was just like, man, I wish the D lineman wouldn't move. Then my blocks would be good. Right. And that's what we're doing. We're reactionary to what they're doing more times than not. And they have to see that.
Okay, so to that point, this is O-line play 101. And I get, everybody knows, like, it's going to be different tackle, guard, center, right?
Yeah, and I have the descriptions of them too.
Okay, well then let's start with that, and then we'll go into what you're looking at, what you see as an offensive lineman. So first, just different skill set for tackles, guards, and center. What is it?
I went all the way through, and honestly, this is how this offensive line has been set up for the Tennessee Titans.
Yep.
It's beautiful. So JC's over on the right side. I got the description for all right tackles as being this. Road graders, more of an athlete in today's game, though, which is why JC dropped that weight, too. Look at Lane Johnson, right? Those are the types of guys where usually bigger guys move people around in space and can just engulf people is the way you look at them. Strength is always a strong suit with those types of guys, and it has to be because that is your bruiser side. And I couple that with the right guard, too. But here's the other side of the right guard for me. Right guards are your get out in space type of guys. Road graders, too. Zeitler. Right? Yeah. Meet you in the phone booth types of guys, steady eddies almost in a sense, usually can pull left, pull right. And again, strength is a main play. Strength is a baseline for offensive line. But like I look at the right side as, that's the meat over there. Like that's the beef. They're going over there to body folks. Or they're in positions to where the guard get out in space. And now the right tackle does the exact same thing too.
Which, to your point, is very different, not very different, but different nowadays game than maybe in the past where you totally concentrate on the left side of the line.
Exactly.
Different now.
Different now because now with the athleticism of those defensive linemen, like you got to have athletes. You got to have guys that are good on their feet. You got to have guys that are consistent. They can come from
either side.
Either way now, yes. I mean, Von Miller rushes off the right side. TJ Watt rushes off the right side. Myles Garrett would move over to the right side too. Like these are the things you're saying. Will Anderson and we're talking about Daniil Hunter. These are the things they do. Oh, I got him in this play. Like they trade out because they realized NFL teams were deficient on the right side. The center, QB of the offensive line, have to be very cerebral. When you talk to Lloyd Cushenberry, what do you think?
Smart guy.
Cool.
To your point, I always try and talk to an offensive lineman when I work college games. Like during the week prior, I always talk to players. I am always wanting to talk to an offensive lineman because A, they're always smart.
Yep.
B, they have the pulse of the team.
That part.
And the offense. And C, they're usually going to answer my questions, honestly.
I'm going to write that down, too. The pulse of the offense. Yeah, because nobody talks to us. They just direct us and tell us what to do.
Exactly. But the cerebral part is so true.
And the pulse of the offense is an understated part of, like, that group. And I'll explain that, too, because I know we're coming up against the break. We are up against the break right now, Babsy. But the center. I'll get to him before I go to the left side.
On 3HL usually.
Let's keep rolling then, okay? It's you and I, me and you, okay, this morning. The center mostly is the quarterback of the group. He understands most of what what the quarterback knows. Most of them give the mic point. Most of them are in positions to where they're flexible enough that if somebody went down, they can help more. Like, Pounce was our general out there. Most of the times I look at it like this. Besides, 100%. Besides, like, the superstars, right? You got quarterback, and the next important person to me is the center on offense. I don't care how good your wide receiver is. I don't care how great your running back is. I don't care how phenomenal your tight end is. The center, more times than not, is usually the second most important person on the team, and that's why it's so important to get that right because he sets and settles everybody else down. And especially if you got a good one, too. Now the way defensive coordinators are attacking the pocket, and you heard Denard Wilson say, we got to crush the pocket, got to smash the pocket, we got to shrink the pocket. If you got one that can handle its own, yes, absolutely. Then the left guard, more of a tackle type, to be quite honest with you, good pass protector. I usually say this guy's a thinker for the most part because they're like tackles, like Peter Skoronski, right? when you talk to him and have conversation with him, you can see his wheels spinning all the time. And most left guards I know play that same exact role.
He's a Northwestern guy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like, they're thinkers, they're savvy in the pass protection, and they're guys that just may not be your main pullers, but they're got to be athletic also. And their main set is not to give up the blindside block exactly the same way as a left tackle does. Now, the left tackle, the most prestigious position on the offensive line.
So they say.
So they say. Those dudes got to be guys. They have to be good at their job. You want one that can hold his own by himself, meaning they got to be athletic. They got to be dancing bears on 2 feet, have a level of strength and ability, be quirky in how they do things. And I'll be quite honest with you, got to have a level of cockiness too, without overstating it. Taylor Lewan. I think Dan Moore is growing more
Taylor
into
Lewan
that.
might have been overstated at times.
He could have been a right tackle. Okay? Could have been a right tackle the way I view him.
But I love him.
Yeah,
but
and,
yes.
And you need that guy. More times than not, that guy needs to be your main leader that guys look to. Between him and the center, to me, I think it starts with those two guys. But athleticism has to be on top of it. And then also the ability to forget and move on, because, again, everybody's going to attack that side because everybody's trying to get after the quarterback's blind side for the most part. And you got to be smart about angles. Like, geometry needs to be at the forefront of all things you're doing. Know your angles, know how to get there, know what your plan is, and also a secondary plan too. So it is a very fascinating part on how you build an OL. And I think if you look at what I just described, that's what the Titans now have sort of cemented.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, they don't have any depth, but
they got a lot of veterans, though, this time around.
yeah.
And
Which
not
is
like a
good and
bunch of
bad.
young guys. Yeah, and now I appreciate that side of it.
Okay, so we got to take a break, but we'll talk a little bit about that. I want you to talk about pulling because you mentioned that on the right side too. We'll educate everybody on that part of the game, and then as an offensive lineman, what you're watching and seeing, like ball snaps. What do you see? All of that.
Oh my gosh, chaos.
Yes, all of that coming up after the break. It might be chaos too. We'll see. This is Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Good people, nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical emergency at all. Most times, you don't even know what it will cost or if it'll get fixed correctly, or if somebody's just trying to sell you something you don't need. You guys know that happens. But when you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly and correctly. The price you're told also is exactly the price you're going to pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. As somebody that uses Hiller also, I promise you, they are good at their job. They're very prompt, they're very professional, and they're really good at their jobs too, man. And here's the reason why. They've been here for over 35 years, and are family owned and operated. When they're local, when they're good and been here for a long time, you know they got a lot of laurels that they lay their hats on, man, and they are good and consistent. With their techs, they're professional, experienced, and trustworthy, and they're all background checked and drug screened too. One of the best parts about Hiller is this. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of each tech and a link to track them in real time. So there's no wasting time waiting around for anybody to show up. The guarantee is this. Happy you'll build the service is free. And as a customer of Hiller, I believe that they've shown me that too. So to learn more or to book with Hiller, simply visit happyhiller.com.
Okay.
Yeah, Babs. This is Babs' selection this morning.
I like it.
That was Moneybag Yo right there. That's the rapper that Mike Vrabel slapped on the behind who was walking out of the stadium that day. You remember that?
No.
Yeah, Moneybag
serious?
Yo was coming out of the, it was performance when I think they had 3 6 Mafia. Moneybag Yo was there too one year. And it was when Vrabel was walking out.
I don't know a whole lot of Moneybag Yo.
You picked this song, though,
I
right?
know, but I mean, it's our 3HL.
I can't wait till Uncle Savage and myself make Baby Babs ratchet. She's going to be asking for she's going to ask for Cardi B.
Do you know what she sings right now?
What?
Whoop, there it is. I'm like, I think I played it like joking to try and get her to do her hip hop dance or whatever.
Yeah.
And now that's all she sings.
We're going to have to get her some Glorilla in her life. I got you. Don't worry. Don't fret. All the kids are listening to it these days, Babsy.
She's a hot mess. I will tell you
She's your
that.
mess, though.
I know. She's my mess. I know. Mr. Babs is always like, you wanted a mini-me. I'm like, I wanted a mini-me that looked like me.
Nah.
She doesn't look like me either. She's got this curly hair. Like, my eyes are real squinty. Like, hers are big, beautiful. I'm like, she looks nothing like me. And he's like, she is your mini you.
She's your mini you. She
like,
is. And attitude anyway, right?
I dread the teenage years.
You're
Dread them.
You're going to be all right.
I don't think I am. All right, so we're talking O-line, which is awesome because I just want to sit here and pick your brain.
Please do.
But I want to go back to, because we were talking about the right side of the line. And we say it all the time. Oh yeah, like this guy's pulling.
Right.
Explain to those that don't know. This is 101.
Yeah.
Explain pulling, why you do it, and everything surrounding that.
It's what I spoke about earlier. It's angles is what it is. Being able to take advantage of what the defense allows you to do. So if a guard is pulling, right guard is pulling from right to left, there's probably a double team between the left guard and the tackle on the front side of that play to move bodies. That's where that play starts too for the most part. And that's why, like, for us, when I played, DeCastro was a real good puller because Alejandro and myself would shore up the line of scrimmage so that there's no penetration. If we got knocked back and the guard was pulling, the play's done. You lose a blocker, basically, is what you're doing in those moments right there. So having the ability to have guys that specialize in combination blocks up front, those are the types of things that you want to do. An A block is what a deuce is what it would be called, deuce to the linebacker. So it'd be a left guard, left tackle, deuce to the linebacker. Double team the D tackle, walk him all the way back up to the linebacker. That's a right guard pulling to the left to either clean up the defensive end or a linebacker out block. You're basically making them a lead blocker for the running back. And it's usually coupled up, too, with the tight end, more times than not, following behind him. The center block back and the right tackle, who's not pulling, would ricochet so that the defensive lineman that's over the right guard doesn't penetrate and get up the field. So we call it a slam and hinge. He would come down, slam the defensive tackle, stop him for the center to block him, and then you hinge back out for your DN because you got time to get there. It's such a process and a beautiful one, too, Bad. Me thinking about that just made me smile internally right there.
I just saw you smile, like using the lingo, talking about it.
Yeah, because it's more than just big guys moving bodies. And I think that's the biggest perception. Like, there's so many roles with the offensive line that guys play amongst the team. The quarterback, the running back, the relationships that you have to have in those moments and stuff like that. And like when you get a good one, I think most of the NFL is recognizing that you really don't have much unless you have a good offensive line.
Ask the Titans the last, you could almost say 4 years.
I mean, seriously, I feel like the cat was out of the bag more times this offseason because of the moves that this team made about getting offensive linemen. Like Zeitler?
Yeah.
Going to grab him.
You like him.
Love him. Zeitler's the dude. We wrapped a
Is that
good
the
bit.
one that was it Dan or Zeitler that you broke down every single?
That was Dan.
That was Dan.
I broke him
Okay.
down because I watched all their tape too.
That's
but
awesome.
Zeitler and I have been very cordial with his days in Cincinnati and Cleveland and everything else. So I respect those types of guys like him that get it the long way. And here's the other part too. Zeitler had to wait until year 10, if I'm not mistaken, before he got his first Pro Bowl. He's a former first rounder, has been nothing but steady. He's got the big contract behind it. And I hate that for him because I feel like he should have been a multi-year Pro Bowler in general. Maybe it's because of his teams, but like people, that's why I'm glad you're bringing a highlight to it this morning and more fans and more analysts are trying to understand the position because there are so many dogs out there that don't get the recognition that they deserve. And it don't matter per se because you get rich as hell, right? No, but like the validation of from your peers and people that judge you in these sports matter. And I'm glad that Zeitler allowed himself to stay around long enough to finally get that Pro Bowl and notch underneath his belt. And there's numerous guys like him around this league too. So happy for him. That was one of the best signings. And that's how you knew they were taking Cam Ward.
Yeah, right. I mean, their off-season moves, and even Will Levis said it yesterday, which we're going to hear some of his audio. He sounds like somebody ran over his cat. I mean, good Lord. I just want to, like, hug him after listening to him talk. Yeah. We'll hear from him in a little bit. Okay, we're up against it. We have to go to break. But just real quick, in a condensed version, as an offensive lineman, ball snaps. Yeah. And I know it's different position-wise on the line, but generically, what are you looking at? What are you seeing?
Linebackers first. Who's our linebacker? What's our first responsibility? Oh, Mike right here. Mike doesn't necessarily mean Ray Lewis. He's the Mike linebacker. Mike can mean the right side linebacker over or the left side linebacker based upon the offensive setup and structure. So 52's a Mike. Well, that's not really the Mike right there. You got to train your mind. But that's just telling you where the offensive responsibilities are and where everybody else is going. So if we have the Mike as a group, the quarterback knows he have the Will, and the Sam is probably to the tight end or to the running back. Okay. So from there, after the snap is called, you see where their alignments are. That's one thing I think Dan Moore needs to work on a little bit more, too, looking at the alignments. Because if somebody's tight to the line of scrimmage, then they're probably going to move left or right on you. And from there, Babs, is taking your steps. Like I said before, the higher you go up in level of play, the less wasted movements that you make. And that's right there one of the most important things you can have as a professional. Don't waste movement, because that wasted movement could mean you've already been beat.
Well,
It's snap of your finger, literally the snap of your finger, especially when you're playing against those demons like Geno Atkins, Aaron Donald, Jeffrey Simmons, and stuff like that. And not just that, the weight side of it, like blocking Savondre Sweat or anybody else for that factor, like an Arden Key, you're cooked at that point. Yeah. So that's after that. It's usually 1-2 steps. That's all I preach to my young boys that I'm coaching right now. They're getting advanced coaching, to be quite honest with you. But
they have no idea how lucky they are.
No idea.
Yeah.
But like 1-2, that's after that, we work and react.
Love it. There you go. O-line 101 for you.
And linebackers that give you every detail that you want to. Linebackers, I look at like defensive linemen. They give tails, their feet. They're itching to get to the line of scrimmage. Hey, watch him. He's creeping. 46 is creeping. Like, it's so much communication at the line of scrimmage.
And a lot of that, too, you see in film work. You see in your prep study, like, hey,
it's more mental
you see where
than physical.
How this guy moves or where he.
You can't hide it.
I love hearing Blaine Bishop talk about it from his position as far as like tells that he used to study on film and see, you know? Crazy. There's so much that goes into it. Awesome. Well, I do, when we come back, I do want to talk to you about Lloyd Cushenberry. You talked about how important that center position is. So we'll hit on him. If you want to jump in our conversation, 615-737-1045. An hour down, 3 more to go.
Let's rock.
Okay. 7 a.m. hour coming up next on 1045 The Zone.
It is 7:05 from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Good morning. I am Justin Hawkins. The Titans on the practice field for OTAs yesterday, and head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media before practice, making a statement about the importance of what quarterback gets what reps in practice.
There's guys that you might see out there with the ones or with the twos. It's really irrelevant at this point in time. All guys are rotating. They're all going through the process. There is no ones, twos, starters, not all that stuff is what you see is going to be a rotation, and whatever you see today might be different tomorrow.
2 conference finals last night and 2 teams advancing to the finals. In the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder blew out the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 5, 124-94, and go on to win the Western Conference Finals. 2025 MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had yet another stellar performance. 34 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. The Thunder are back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012. In the NHL, the Florida Panthers win the Eastern Conference Final after a 5-3 win over the Carolina Hurricanes last night in Game 5. The defending Stanley Cup champs are back in the Stanley Cup Final for the 3rd consecutive season. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome in, 7 o'clock hour on Ramon and Will. I almost said 3HL, just like Mayor did yesterday, and then I gave him crap about it and all of the things. Good morning, everybody. Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. God, it's muggy out there this morning.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, we were just on the balcony a second ago, Babsy.
It's a little muggy.
It is a little muggy. I'm not sure if there's rain in the forecast, though. Like, I usually check. I'm like a meteorologist sometimes.
Oh, you are?
Sometimes, because I got the storms we've had as of late.
Seriously.
You got to have your head on a swivel, Babsy, 100%.
See,
man.
I don't look at the weather because I work with Brent Doherty on 3HL.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm Dawn Davenport. If anybody's like, who the heck is this person on in the mornings with Ramon? Filling in for Will because he's on vacation. Good for him.
Okay.
Behind the glass, what do you call him?
Jayhawk.
Jayhawk.
What's
Justin
up?
Hawkins.
Justin, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Saw him walking in this morning. We were both here super early, Ramon. What?
Hey,
That's right. That's right.
You're the only
About
one.
40 minutes prior to Ramon Foster walking in this building.
You're
Too
the
busy getting the
only-
weather.
Oh my God.
Meteorologist moan.
You know how we're homies? It's because we joke and pick at each other. Anybody else be like, okay, we'll just show what we want to. No, absolutely not, Babsy. You're the first one to beat me in this week, by the way.
Am I?
Yes, you are. I beat Mayor, and I saw Mayor walking in yesterday. If I had a paintball gun, I'd have popped him real quick. It was like, get over here, Mayor.
Did he walk to work? He lives
did.
close enough. At
He did.
freaking 5 a.m.
That's such a luxury.
He's crazy.
No, it's light outside right now, Babsy.
Well, it wasn't light when I came in.
Mayor can take care of himself. Well, that's why I beat him in right there, okay? I've been talking to my wife about this, so I've been like, man, I kind of want to see if we can get a spot downtown, just because I think downtown Nashville is cool, and some of those days you have a great dinner, don't need to be driving home, you just park it right downtown.
That is true.
Yeah, he showed me his view from his place.
Oh, his place is awesome. Okay, but there's a lot of people. It's crowded. Like,
I wouldn't even have to deal with it all the time.
I just went to Disney for Mother's Day with my mom and baby Babs, and like, I hate crowds.
Do you?
I don't think I like people.
What? Okay, riddle me this, because I'm what is the word? Not introvert, but I'm an extrovert. That's the word, I guess. Well, I'm
Yeah.
a people's person.
Yeah. For the most part,
For the
I am
most part,
too.
I am. So were you like that, and did like showbiz, being in the media, kind of take that away from you? Being like an outward person.
Maybe a little bit.
You think so?
Well, I think I just I always want to move fast.
Yeah.
I always there's always somewhere to be. There's something to do. And when people don't move fast, that's when I don't like people.
I got you.
Does that sound bad?
That makes perfect
I kind
sense
of
to
sound
me.
like a jerk right now.
No, not really, because you got stuff you got to do, and in those moments, like people
we
got
all
to get
got
out of the way.
stuff we gotta do.
I mean, but like you are usually on a time schedule. Your fall schedule.
Oh,
nuts.
it's kind of nuts. Yeah.
So I get like time is precious to you, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So don't small talk you. Like, no, not really don't small talk you, but like
kind of.
I'm gonna leave it there.
No,
Because
unless you want to talk Auburn. If you
people
want to
love
talk
you.
Auburn, you can small talk. Look, we can talk all you want.
You and Charles Barkley. Have you met him, by the way?
I have. So, okay, funny story. I've met him numerous times and actually have done dinner with him. But
Oh, that's a flex. In fact, that's a fine too. At
that's a
this
little
point,
minor.
that's a little early to be flexing this morning, Babs.
Sorry.
But go ahead, carry on. I asked.
Listen, at 6 a.m., you flexed about John Gruden dinner, okay?
Oh, so we keeping score now.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay.
So if you, if we want to bring up old stuff. No, but so when I got hired by ESPN 13 years ago, which is crazy that it's been that long, but my very first game was Auburn,
Yeah.
which is so cool, right? On the plains. Charles was there. It was like 500 degrees. You know,
course,
it's
the
August in
South.
Alabama, right?
Exactly.
And so he's there pregame. I'm like, hey, I wore 34 here because of you and Bo Jackson. Love you, Charles. You're my guy. Whatever. So we take a picture. His shirt. And because I have this picture blown up, right?
Yeah.
It's my first ESPN game. B,
huge.
it's my alma mater. And C, it's freaking Charles Barkley. So I'm like, and I'm not like a, hey, let's take a picture person ever.
I'm not the person.
Well, you can't be because you're like a superstar.
but like a lot of guys that are in the industry do that. I'm not a superstar, but I'm not that guy. I had somebody ask me yesterday, did I do like jersey swaps and stuff? I was like, no, I just wasn't that guy.
Oh, see, I
jersey
totally would have
swaps.
done that.
Yeah, but go ahead. I didn't mean to jump in your story.
But anyway, so I took a picture with him. It's blown up. It's in my my work room upstairs, game room or whatever. And Charles is just soaking wet. Like there's like sweat marks all over his shirt, whatever.
Babsy.
But I'm like, I don't care. It's Charles.
We're getting this picture.
Yeah, he's my guy. So, and then I ended up working another Auburn game at some point, and back then Jay was the AD, and he would always have the broadcast crew over to his house the night before with his wife, and we would do dinner and just chat. And I always loved those dinners, obviously, especially being an Auburn alum and getting to chat with everybody about the old days and whatever else. But Charles was at a couple of those. So there's
another
there's
flex
my
in the
Charles
morning.
flex.
I'm a fan.
It had
Huge
nothing to
fan
do
of
with me,
his,
but he's awesome. He is exactly what you see is what you get, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can hear it coming through his voice. Yeah.
I mean, doesn't care.
Just a pro. Is what he is too, but he's unapologetically him, and I appreciated that about Charles too. I mess with Savage all the time because, I've dived deeper into trying to understand basketball the way he does football. Yeah. And one of the things that captivates me is that NBA on TNT crew.
They're so good.
They're so good, but it's
chemistry.
Charles though. Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal. But listening to them break down stuff is so good.
They let them be themselves.
They do.
And I appreciate that about our radio station on a much lesser level, obviously.
No, we're big time like that. No, we're big time.
Oh,
like
okay.
That. Yeah, go ahead.
But there's nobody that tells us what we can or can't talk about.
Facts.
I mean,
Facts.
There's no mandate, you can't talk bad about this franchise or this team or this player. There is no mandate here. We have the freedom to be ourselves, and that's exactly what you see with that crew.
It is.
And I hope that doesn't ever change for them, obviously, with the changes coming
up. Well, they're going to ESPN.
Yeah.
Ernie announced that, I think, yesterday or the day before, which is good.
Which we all knew it was coming.
But Charles also lets you know I'm not working all them hours.
I saw him say that. I'm like, you say that now. What do you say? I'm not doing like the Pat McAfee, Stephen A. Smith. Nah, that ain't me.
Hey, listen.
I'm like, that's what you think.
Well, Charles will let you also know, too, like he got a big enough bag. He don't have to do all of that.
Right.
So,
he has that luxury.
But they'll also give you a big bag to do all of those things.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look at Pat. Goodness.
I know. Goodness. Stephen A. as of late.
Yeah, but hey, look, they get to be themselves too.
They do still.
ESPN does a good job with certain people. Like you can do
yourself.
you.
My guy Ryan Clark does that from time to time.
Oh. That guy is like a freaking
I'm telling you.
He's like lighter fluid.
Yeah, for the people that know RC.
You know him well. Because I have some we've talked about this. I have some issues with some of the things Ryan Clark says and what he brings up, and sometimes I think that he injects race into things more often than he should.
Yeah.
But also I'm not in his position. But you know him personally.
I do know him personally. And Ryan Clark he empathizes with a lot of situations, which is probably why he can relate to certain situations that are dealing with race. And he's not afraid to say those things. So I will say this. Some of the stuff that he brings up is what phone group chats are about. What backyard conversations, what barbershop conversations are about. So from his perspective, and he's deep into still what we like to call the culture. Like he'll go somewhere with anybody and have a random conversation. His kids play college ball and stuff like that. So he's around a lot of people. So his abilities to say what he's had conversations or been involved with himself. I mean, he's from Louisiana. He went to New York, was in Washington, all of these types of places. He's gone one-on-one with Stephen A. You know, like there's a lot of that. So with RC, his intent is always correct. And he's not afraid to ever apologize for when he's wrong. He and Stephen A. had a crazy outing in Pittsburgh. It was pretty wild. I have to tell you about that one probably later in the show, but it was a crazy little situation that got diffused really quick. And it needed to.
Okay.
Very passionate, though. But also, you got to also understand this. Never given anything. Undrafted mentality, if that tells you even more of who he is.
We know how you guys are.
we're a different breed, I can admit that. We are a different breed in this world. But we ain't even get the Kush yet, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we have to break. We got Coach Mack coming up, too.
We do got Mack. We'll ask him about Lord Cushenberry.
I know. We just randomly got on an RC rant. You need to have him on.
I will. We've been texting. I hit him up last week with his RG3 fiasco.
Oh, that was
I sided with Ryan.
Big one.
It was. I sided with Ryan on that one.
You also have two very big personalities.
Yeah.
In Ryan Clark and RG3. Very big.
In that situation, RG3 brought the race into it, in my personal opinion.
I didn't dive deep into it.
Because
so you did.
Yeah, because I feel like
it had to do with your buddy too.
Well, and it was even before then. Like RG3 struck that match and threw it on the gas pile to me when he put the hate word into it. When he threw hate into it, he to me was dog whistling racism and stuff like that. He was trying to pit two sides against each other. That's the reason I was side. Like Ryan said, of course, bringing the wife conversation in is unacceptable. He apologized for that.
He came back and said.
But that doesn't discredit him because he has a mixed child or any types of things like that. Like he, in my opinion, was more right on RG3 than anything else on what he said, on how he goes about his business. But that's my opinion too.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll talk off air on that one, on why I feel that way.
Let me know when RC comes on, because that'll be must listen.
We've been chatting, and he's been flying and on the show.
Did you guys play together?
RC and I was together like 5-6 years.
5 or 6 years,
yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. He helped raise me up. The show that he was doing in Pittsburgh, he passed to me. RC was also an NFLPA rep. He and Charlie Batch and Mack Starks trained me up to be the NFLPA rep for the Steelers, too.
Okay.
So RC is my guy. We did a DJ contest together in Pittsburgh before. He's of the same fraternity I am. Shout out to Cap Alpha Psi.
Whoa. Yeah. You think you're just going to say that in passing?
I'm good
DJ contest?
I'm good on the boards, bad.
Like mixing?
I love music, yes, absolutely. I got a mix board at the crib.
Are you serious?
I ain't did it in a while. David DeCastro bought me this laptop 1 year because he know I love music and technology, and he bought me a mix board that I was mixing on.
Stop.
No lie. It was the year he also signed his big contract, too. So
yeah, he had a little extra cash.
I had him as my Secret Santa, and he bought me this laptop right here. And
you still have it?
Yeah, it's one of the ones that everybody else said is malfunction with the touch board at the top of this Apple laptop. Dave spent the bag on, but that's also, he was my young guy at the time. And Dave took care of me.
That is awesome.
So, yeah, I had the mix board and everything, man. But Ryan Clark did a lot of stuff. We got a lot of things in common. So,
okay.
Yeah. You love him. You would love him.
Oh, I'm sure I would.
Yeah.
And I actually haven't met him because, obviously, I stay on the college football side of ESPN stuff. So, but where does his son play? Is it?
Notre Dame. He actually, I think, was an undrafted free agent this draft cycle to, was it Washington or the Giants? It's one of them. He's almost in the same pathway as RC. I have to look him up. Jordan Clark is his name.
Okay. I thought I covered him. Was he somewhere else prior to that?
He was at Arizona State.
That's right.
He was at Arizona State.
That's where I covered when Herm was there.
Which is crazy. Jordan helped raise my boys in the locker room.
That's so
Which is
funny.
nuts. Now he's friggin' out of college.
You know what that means?
Stop.
We getting old.
Stop. I knew you were going there.
You're getting old. I just stay the same. All right. We are going to check in with Coach Mack, and we'll hit Lloyd Cushenberry a little bit later. We'll circle back to that, but we're going to talk to Coach Mack, and there was a comment from Denard Wilson yesterday that caught my ear, and I'm going to play it for Coach Mack and get his take on that. That is coming up next on Ramon and Will. Don Davenport, Ramon Foster, bringing you the morning hits. How about that?
I like that.
Stick around. This is Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back into Ramon and Will this Thursday morning, almost to the weekend, people. Hang in there, power through. Dawn Davenport filling in because young Will Bowling is on vacation. So get to hang with my guy, Savage, Ramon Foster.
Absolutely, Babsy.
Have enjoyed it so far. And now we get Coach Mack up in here. Hi, Coach Mack. How are you?
Don, long time I haven't talked to you. It's great hearing your voice again.
Literally, we just had Coach Mack on yesterday on 3HL. So less than
good.
24 hours ago.
Great, back to back.
Back to back. Although I didn't have time to ask you yesterday about something, Coach Mack, so this is perfect. So I want to play. I finally had time last night to go back and listen. My boy Zeph, our producer, does a phenomenal job. He cut up all the audio from the Titans from yesterday from their OTA. And I finally had a chance to go back and listen to all of it and listen to Denard Wilson yesterday and thought there were some great things from him. But Coach Mack, I want to play this cut from Wilson and then dive into it with you. So let me play it so you can hear it too. I know you've already heard all of it, but this from Denard Wilson on the biggest things that they want to build upon from last season. Listen to this.
Let's do it.
First and foremost, when you look back at last season, the number one thing that hurt us was penalties. If you look at the red zone percentage, you look at third down, like as I did a deep dive into those areas, we got penalties that kept us on the field. There were so many times we were in the red zone on third down, we should have been off, and it was illegal contact. It was pass interference. They gave a team another set of downs to go down there. So the first thing is about penalties. But why do penalties happen? Bad eyes, bad techniques, fundamentals. Not getting a line and playing position and leverage and putting your body where you're supposed to be. So it's all encompassing. I think that the penalties is the number one thing. We still have to tackle well. We have to be better in our run fits. We have to be better at shrinking the edges, right? A lot of the plays came, because we didn't set the edge with force and restrict it, make teams run in a phone booth. So there's so many areas that we have to get better at. The good thing about an off season is you can look at yourself, and then you can also look at the scheme and how can you correct the scheme. What's good about the scheme, and how do we tweak the scheme to fit the players that we have? So I think that we have a big picture view of what needs to be done. We've corrected some things that we've been teaching. I'm excited about the two new coaches that we have on board. They're outstanding coaches, fundamentally, technique, and the coaches that was already here. So, we have an idea of what we want to do. We know the direction in which we want to go. I know I'm going to call the games a little bit differently than I did last year because, you learn by doing. And when you trial by fire, you figure out, what really works and what doesn't. And our biggest thing is putting these guys in position for them to have their best football ahead of them. So if that's putting Sweat as a zero nose, if that's, putting Jeff in different positions, we're going to do that for the team. And, we got a whole big picture view of where we need to go.
All right, Coach Mack, a bunch was said during that 2 minutes of Denard Wilson, but something that really stood out to me is he said, we look at scheme. How can you correct the scheme? Correct the things we've been teaching. And he said, I'll call games a little bit different than I did last year. So my question to you is, you've been in this league a long time, you've been around it, and at one point you were a young play caller, right, on the defensive side of the ball. So when he talks about calling games a little bit different, what does that mean and look like for this team?
Well, I mean, first of all, in his first sentence that he said, and the first point that he made about extending drives on defense because of penalties are something that when you have a chance to have somebody off the field, it's like having high blood pressure. It's a silent killer.
Yeah.
And it builds up, and it can be devastating. He's 100% right on that. Now, as far as calling games differently, every year you have to adjust. You have basic tenets on defense that you always establish as your tent poles that you're going to use. But every season is different for two reasons. First of all, teams you play, especially now in the National Football League, they're different every year. 35% of a turnover on rosters, and then when you rotate playing, different divisions, you're playing different teams. Now that's number one. Number two is he talked about, I think, gave you a little bit of an idea of what he was talking about when he talked about matching skill sets of the players that are playing with trying to accentuate what they can do, and then you try not to put your players in positions that you know they can't handle, regardless of what your scheme says. If your player individually can't handle what this scheme involves, then you've got to change. You've got to change that. That's what he's talking about. He couldn't specifically say how I'm going to call this game, or this game, until they get to the game and start game planning. But you know. And the other thing is, not only from season to season, Don, Ramon knows this too. Both of you know this. Both of you are savvy people because you've been on the field, during contests. You understand that what you do during a game not only changes, even if you've got a whole week of preparation, but sometimes it can change quarter by quarter. But what he's talking about is matching his new personnel, which he's going to have, with not only what his tent poles are for his defense, but what he thinks can accentuate what they can do best according to who they're playing week to week to week. And then that's self-scouting as a play caller. You have to constantly do that because this league is not a static league week to week. It is an amoeba. It changes. You got to change with it.
So to that point, he said, listen, if I got to put T'Vondre Sweat as a zero nose, all of that, and he talked about being better at shrinking the edges. And it's funny because Ramon and I just had an offensive line 101 conversation in the 6 o'clock hour where I made him educate all of us. And we talked about that, but kind of explain the better at shrinking the edges comment from Denard.
Well, anytime an offense tries to stretch a defense horizontally, it creates gaps. What you're trying to do defensively, regardless of whether you're playing an even or an odd man front, when you're gapping up and you're anchor pointing your defense, a basic tenet for everything defensively is you have to set a hard edge and you need to squeeze it. You want to squeeze everything. It's like playing baseball. You want to squeeze all the hits as close to the people up inside as you can. You want to squeeze. You don't want to give the offense the ability to stretch and to cut. To stretch and to cut. And if you allow them to use horizontally the offense, they stretch your defense, and they stretch it beyond your ability to not only cover it, but your ability to be able to react and to make plays back inside. The hardest thing to do defensively is to be running sideways and then have to react back inside as to where the ball is going. It's much, much easier, and everybody else can get their fits. You heard defensive coaches talk about fits constantly. Everybody else can get their fits more precisely when the edges are set tighter and it's squeezed back up inside. Also, nowadays, with as much RPO as is going on and as quickly as the ball is coming out, pressure on your defense now, the whole issue is trying to collapse that center guard triangle. And not only collapse it, but move it back, move the line of scrimmage back. You got Ramon sitting right there, and this is bad words to him, is having the offensive line moved back. Everybody's trying to gain ground on the line of scrimmage. But if you hear defensive coaches talk about knockback and knockback in unison, not just knockback singly, but knockback in unison, so that you can reestablish the line of scrimmage. That's what you want to do. He's talking about if you have to put big Sweat on a center that may have trouble handling a guy that big that can move, then do it. Because game by game by game, what you are doing, you're looking for personnel matchups, and you're not matching strength versus strength. You're trying to match strength versus their weakness. That's what you're looking for.
No doubt about it. Coach Mack, speaking of weaknesses, man, since we're on the defensive side of things, Denard Wilson spoke a little bit about Cam Ward, man, and I know he's not, he's the first-round pick overall and everything else. How big of a contribution will Denard have for the development of Cam Ward also? Because he's going to go at him, Coach Mack, and there are some things I'm sure Coach Callahan's going to want Denard to do. So how does that play into the development also of Cam Ward?
Yeah, and that's going to be something that they are going to talk about and script out early on, and it's very relevant that you of course I'm at practice every day. This was the second day that they could go offense against defense, and they already started bringing pressures, bug pressures, and bogeys in the back end when the young quarterback was in there. Because now look. The defense, and understand this, I think both of you do, and this is for our listeners. When you start to install, they've been installing on a linear basis ever since they got together. The point where they are with the install now, because Denard yesterday was playing some even and odd man fronts, and he was bringing pressures. Now I know that had to be. I mean, because I watched their walkthroughs and I listened to what they're doing, so I know what's been installed that day. That had to be part of the plan. That is only going to help a young quarterback because you can do it one-dimensionally all you want. You talk about offenses, you know as well as I. You can watch all the tape you want. You can put it on the whiteboard. You can draw circles and X's and all that you want to do. But until those pieces start moving as humans on the field, you don't really know how it's going to look and how it's going to act. They've already gone into some of that yesterday. That's going to help the development of all the quarterbacks. But they were doing some of that yesterday, which is pretty interesting.
No doubt about it. And Coach Mack, too, real quick, man, how big of an addition is Bones Fossil to this team?
Bones.
Let me tell you something, guys. And again, I don't wax poetic about coaches unless they're good.
Yeah.
Because I've been around enough good ones. I've been around enough mediocre ones. I've been around some that weren't very good, that didn't stay around very long. I've been in it long enough. I know good from bad. I've worked with Bones, for a long time. This is a huge addition. This is a huge addition. He coaches special teams in a very, very unique way. And the first uniqueness about it is he allows guys to really want to play on there. He's got a very, very innovative mind, but he also lets his players play free. And that's extremely, extremely important because you don't have your special teams. There has to be a lot of buy-in and a lot of want to immediately just from the jump to do it because it's completely foreign to anything they do offensively or defensively. I mean, you know that. You both know that. Mm-hmm. But if they buy into it, they can develop a esprit de corps so quickly. That's going to be his huge thing. And plus, look, the fact that he brought Johnny Hecker in here, who is, and I've been around some really good punters, a lot of them here in my career. Mm-hmm. But Hecker is a unique talent. I mean, and Bones found him as a free agent out of Oregon State when we first took that job over in St. Louis when they were absolutely awful. We had no kickers. He went and found Hecker. Hecker's in his 13th year now for a reason. He's really good, but he's got every club in his bag as far as the directional kicking, and plus he's got a lot of other things that he can do because athletically this dude is still a dude in his 13th year. Bones and Johnny Hecker are going to be a nice addition to this special teams development.
Thank goodness, because it was a disaster last year. All right, Coach Mack. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, indeed, Mack. Thank you, man.
No, absolutely, Don. I can get to talk to you again tomorrow morning again, right?
No, I'm out. I can only do one morning shift a year.
This is back to your WKRN days getting up this early.
I know, Coach, and I'm not going to lie. It was a struggle for me.
We're getting it right, Coach Mack. This is like training camp all over again. We'll get it together. She'll get her reps up.
We're going to have some Scooter's coffee here in a second.
You guys already running smoothly together. See you, Ramon.
See you, man.
All right, love you, Coach Mack. There you go, Coach Dave McGinnis, helping us break down a little defensive talk. That was good. I feel like there's so much education. We talk offensive line, defensive line, and getting deep into it.
We got a sophisticated group in the morning, Babs. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say I got to call y'all the 3HP. Y'all the 3-hour party in the evenings. And I enjoy it. I've been lobbying for this. I keep dropping
That's a good way to put it.
You know what I'm saying? It's 3HP. 3-hour party is the way it is. You know what I'm saying? No longer 3-hour lunch.
Change the name.
It's iconic.
I know it is iconic.
It is very
3
iconic.
hours long is what we like. Your brother is a big part of that P in the 3HP, by the way. Ron Slay. He was in the chat. Good morning, Slay.
He probably back taking a nap again. He's the only dude I know get up to go take a nap.
I'm kind of jealous.
I am too. It's art. That's the reason I talk about him like this.
Guess who's going to take a nap today?
You.
Yep. There ain't no doubt about that. All right. We're going to talk some college football and what is going on. Destin meetings. There's so much good audio and sound from coaches from Destin. So we're going to hit that coming up next. This is Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone.
We love being part of the moments that matter, which is why we're announcing employee pricing for everyone. You pay what we pay. Employee pricing at Two Rivers
It's
Ford.
Ramon Foster for Genesis Diamonds. It's a great time to shop Genesis Diamonds now before tariffs cause price hikes on imported diamonds and jewelry. Like Babs got her ring from there. Yes, I do love Genesis. My wife got a lot from there too, but that's neither here nor there. I'm here to tell you about Genesis not raising their prices on their pre-tariff inventory. So all in-stock merchandise is an incredible value right now. Genesis has prepared for the tariffs and made a lot of overseas purchases way in advance. Handcrafted rings, exquisite diamonds, colored gemstones, and a ton of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. If you've got any special occasion coming up in the next 6 months or so, you need to get the Genesis now before the pre-tariff merchandise is gone. Genesis is always going to be the value leader here, regardless of what happens in the world. They were built on that foundation, but it's way beyond price. It's their selection, their quality, their outrageously good customer service, their industry-leading warranties. And don't forget, Genesis is the exclusive retailer for all top names in bridal jewelry, too. The names other stores only wish they can get. Genesis Diamonds, where you always get more for your money, especially right now. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Welcome back into Ramon and Will. I am not Ramon, nor am I Will, if you can't tell. I'm Dawn Davenport. I'm filling in this morning because young Will Bowling is on vacation. Ramon Foster is here. Just had to update my coffee.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Well, look, we're at halftime right now.
Oh, okay. Halftime.
About to go into the second half of this thing.
So halftime is usually when I have an Uncrustable.
Yes.
Yep.
Grape.
Yes. There are no other options.
Strawberry. Don't
No.
do this, Babs. We were having such a good
That's a
time.
take.
We were having such a. I will have the grapes Uncrustable, but if I'm ever picking the jelly, it's always strawberry.
Really?
Easy.
Ew, it's like too sweet.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the grape jelly, though. What is that?
Perfection.
No, absolutely
That is what
not.
it is.
We'll agree to disagree on this one. How about that?
We'll agree that I'm right and you're wrong.
No, it's okay to be wrong, though, Babs. I promise you. It's growth. You know, it hardens you. It makes you better. It makes you learn.
No.
Babsy.
No.
We can paper, rock, scissors for this all day long, okay?
Oh,
We
just
can
like
rock,
the
paper,
Titans.
scissors. Yeah, oh, yeah.
How about the national media just like blowing up about,
The
they're
games
playing
are
paper,
playing.
rocks. I'm like, come on.
Well, they also got to look at where this team is and why this is necessary too, Babs. Like that's the difference. Like a lot of team building stuff could just be other teams do it. We went bowling. Other teams went no, absolutely not, Shelly. And you're my namesake with
I
the
was just
Foster,
looking
too.
at the chat. I'm
Shelly
like,
Foster, absolutely not. But
I'm with Babs. Grape all day.
no, absolutely not. Strawberry.
Grape is the best. Thank you, Tressa.
No, absolutely not, Babsy. Team building, okay, which is what you're taking away right now with this bad grape take
Who
that
wants
you have.
seeds in their jelly? What are we doing? Yes,
Me?
Jameson,
Me?
yes.
Absolutely. Oh, my gosh.
And Doug Falling,
So sophisticated.
we're not even
Orange marmalade?
never had an Uncrustable.
He never. I know people that are like that, though. That have never had like a
guess
Pop-Tart
who?
or Uncrustable. I
Your
saw-
freaking brother,
with what? Which
Ron
one?
Slay,
Never had what?
Pop-Tart.
Savage. I feel like that. Knowing his upbringing.
I finally got him on an Uncrustable. Finally.
Savage is an Uncrustable fiend.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's into that one.
But it took him like 2 years.
That's it. Or was that Mayor that never had one?
Oh, yeah, Mayor.
Yeah, Mayor never had one. That blows my... Why do I know you guys' life stories the way I do at times?
Hashtag grape for life. Thank you, Seth.
That's
Thank
just so wrong. Y'all are so bad. Thank you, Scoop. Strawberry is better. It's so much better, Babs. And you guys that love grape are just pure haters. You even got a grape mic cover over there. It's bad. You don't have to oversell
pink.
it like that.
I need to talk to Ian. I need my pink back.
You need your pink back.
Yeah.
The grape fits you, though. It's like Auburn.
Zach, shut it. Zach
What is
Lyons.
Zach? Yes.
No,
thank
listen,
you, Zach.
he's just an instigator.
Yes.
This is just what he does.
Oh,
That's
absolutely
Zach
not.
Lyons. He said grape jelly is for boring people.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Mr. Analytics guy.
Which means he studied it.
I was more so pointing out boring people,
Honey Uncrustable. I never heard of that one, man. Yeah, Babsy Savage is a big time Uncrustable guy. So much so that the Baby Ball, his son, LaRon, is a huge peanut butter and jelly kid. So it all works hand in hand. If only it could be strawberry. That's the only thing I have. Although I will say I've never had a strawberry Uncrustable ever.
What?
Yeah. Never had a strawberry one. I've had the grape ones.
Hilarious.
They do hit.
Austin Stanley, who just had the cutest little baby,
Yes,
Jameson,
he
who is
did.
12 weeks old now, is listening and sent me a picture of their fridge
Yeah.
and one of their pull-out drawers, and it is nothing but strawberry Uncrustables. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. That's newborn life. You don't have time to do anything, so you're just grabbing that for lunch
Yeah,
and
I'm
breakfast
telling
and
you.
dinner.
So my old trainer, my guy James, man, just hit me and said, y'all are grown bleep adults eating Uncrustables. Shaking my head. Shut up, you trainer. These were all the days that you made me run at Brentwood High and all across the city. I used to run. It's so many hills
good
I
for you.
drive by now. And I just stick my middle finger up at him. It's like, screw you, Hill. It's one at Centennial that I used to run all the time. This one at Brentwood High that I used to run all the time.
Really?
I have run up and down this city. The park off of Concord, I think Savage exit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That park
That's
over there
my
with the
exit.
big light beam with the big beams and stuff over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Get dogged out. You hear me? At that park, Babs. I think it's a library or something over there, if I'm not mistaken.
Across the street is the library.
Across the street.
But there's like soccer fields and
what bothers me?
there's a dog park over there.
It is a dog park over there too. What bothers me about that now, like the training in Tennessee, I feel like it's so much cooler than it was before pre-pandemic. It used to be hot as Hades out there, and he just run me, Babs, to nonstop and just add stuff.
Listen, look what
I
you
loved
turned
it, but
into.
I hate it. I know. It was a necessary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we were going to do college football talk here, and instead we just went on an Uncrustable rant.
We did.
I
And
feel like
it's
I'm
got
back
the
on
people
3HL.
going.
Holly has never eaten an Uncrustable. Guys.
It was Mayor that never had one, not Savage. He corrected it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mayor had never had one. Yeah, I feel like Mayor probably comes from a very sophisticated
I don't know because
life,
Savage hasn't had Pop-Tarts.
That's hard. Well, here's
Mayor
the thing, though,
does
about
not come
Pop-Tarts.
from a sophisticated life.
I just feel like it now.
No, he
I just
does
feel
not.
like it now.
No.
I heard
He
people
may
doing-
act like it now, but no.
Yeah, it's the act that gets me. I heard people doing an ungodly thing, like putting butter on top of your Pop-Tart. You savage.
I have a Pop-Tart in my hands right now that I've been eating this morning. And guess what? Duck falling. Brown sugar cinnamon. The best.
Will Bowling loves that one.
Oh, it's so good. It's the only one.
The strawberry one is the best one. Or the
You and
chocolate
your
chip.
strawberry.
It's so fire. That one or the chocolate chip.
I feel like fake strawberry isn't ever good.
Oh my, it's real to me.
Well,
that's fake grape that you eating on there.
it's all fake. Okay, I'll tell you who is not fake. The SEC football coaches in Destin, because everything is so chill at spring meetings, and these coaches have just been like, oh, let me take this filter off real quick.
Can't wait to hear it.
So we're going to play some of that coming up. The start of the 8 o'clock show, and we'll talk Titans, play some of the sound from yesterday as well. And then we've got Peter Burns coming up at 9:20 to finish off our show. So stick around. Some great coach audio coming up next on Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone.
It is 8:03 from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Good morning. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Titans signed linebacker Cody Barton in free agency to be the starter defensive coordinator. Denard Wilson spoke after practice yesterday at OTAs on the linebacker competition to start alongside Barton.
It's kind of everybody's getting an opportunity. We're rotating them. All the guys that we have played. And, right now they're getting a feel for the defense, understanding what they're supposed to be doing. But when the pads come on, they'll separate themselves, and the best man's going to play.
2 conference finals tonight with finals appearance on the line. In the NBA, Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers have a 3-1 series lead over Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. The Pacers are looking for their first finals appearance since back when Reggie Miller-led Pacers lost to the Lakers in the 2000 finals. Tip-off tonight is at 7 p.m. on TNT in New York. In the NHL, the Edmonton Oilers, they're looking out to close their series against the Dallas Stars as they hold a 3-1 series lead. The Oilers are looking for their second consecutive Stanley Cup Finals appearance, where they lost to Florida Panthers last year. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome into Ramon and Will in the mornings, the 8 o'clock hour. Good morning to all of you driving into work. Obviously, I'm not Ramon or Will. I'm Dawn Davenport filling in this morning for Will Bowling, who is on vacation, a much-deserved vacation.
Yeah, Will's on vacation, man.
That's Ramon Foster.
That is I. I am
AKA
him.
Savage.
AKA Savage. And we have multiple Savages here at the station, too, by the way. Ron Slay is Savage also.
Yeah, and you get that Savage tomorrow morning for a little co-hosting.
Savage Radio is what we're call
That ought to be good. That ought to be good.
We'll be pros about it, I think.
Listen,
why you look like that, man?
That's what we say every day.
Why you look like that, man? You look like
my guy Slay dropped the Shiano bomb yesterday on our show. First time ever.
Is that the worst thing he could have did?
No.
As far as you continually bringing it up for him, because Mayor brought that up, was like, you know she's not going to let you live this down. Like you got one over him now.
If management didn't hear it, they have now heard me talk about it a million times because I thought it was hilarious. Now, oh, bless his heart. The reason he did it, I shouldn't say bless his heart because usually that's for like a not bless your heart.
But this moment is good because he dropped it though, right?
He dropped it, but he did drop it because he got his MRI results on his knee. Like definitely going to have surgery, torn meniscus, all the different letters that don't go together that describe his injury. I can't remember, whatever.
He texted to me before he announced it on the radio, but I was driving at the time because I'm trying to be responsible, especially with my kids in the car. So I wasn't texting and driving.
Good job.
And then I heard it over the airways yesterday, and I was like, wait, what? And he'd already told me. So he shared it with the world yesterday. My dog was down bad. I'll be honest with you.
I felt a shift in his demeanor when he found out. So, and he's like, it's my right knee. I'm not going to be able to drive. I'm like, you know what that means? I'm about to come scoop your butt up for work every day.
Yeah.
And now you got to ride with me, and he hates that.
100%.
Does not want to ride with me.
He's so independent. I mean, that's his life, though, too. It's like he's been a very independent, responsible person. So he's like, me and all our other brothers, for the most part, if we can't do it ourselves, we're not going to ask for help. And he's going to try to drive with that one leg.
Yeah, hopefully he's not going to be allowed to.
Hopefully his injury is like a scope, to where he just go in and clean it up.
Arthroscopic.
Yeah, just some clean, something quick that they got to clean up.
But listen, you're a former athlete. You know how it is. Like there's zero cartilage left in that knee. I mean.
He needs to start getting you Flexa injections too.
Well, or eventually he's going to get a new knee, which, they make it super easy nowadays.
I know my granddad had it done. I know somebody was recently telling me they had their hip and both knees done, and they were like back cooking like it was nothing.
Big Tom, my dad.
Pops had it?
Yeah, he has 2 new hips and 2 new knees.
Oh, get out of here. And he's rolling. I mean, I'm sure he's got,
I mean, he's like 300-something pounds, so he
Yeah,
ain't
of
rolling,
course.
but he's
But
rolling for him.
He getting a groove
He's
on.
also 89 years old. You
Our
know?
grandfather had Ron and I's granddad, 86 years old. I saw him 2 weekends ago. Man, granddaddy's so cool, man. It's a blessing to have your grandparents around, but especially
Seriously,
him.
yeah.
But he's had both of his knees done too, and granddaddy's doing pretty good. So,
nowadays
Joe
they
Thomas just
rock
got
it.
his done, or
Oh,
hips.
did he?
It was hips
I could
or
see
knee.
hips,
Joe
yeah.
Thomas did. Hall of Fame left tackle for the Browns. One of the best things to come out of Cleveland.
I like that little stray.
Ain't even say nothing. I just complimented them, man. But
That's a good stray.
I'm actually shocked Joe had his done. I wonder is his, because it can be hereditary too with this type of stuff.
Yeah.
As far as like how it deteriorates, because Joe was never been like a heavy guy. I don't ever remember Joe Thomas having like major injuries and stuff.
But he's a big guy.
But like not big like Jonathan Ogden big is what I'm saying. Like he was a slender big guy. So it's kind of surprising that he had hip replacement surgery already, or knee, whichever one it was. I was a little shocked by that one. I'll be quite honest with you. I didn't see that one.
Well, I'll tell you this. Like, my dad had his first knee replacement, and they had him up walking 30 minutes after he came out of surgery.
They're quick
like,
with it.
they're like, let's go.
You have an ACL surgery.
You're good,
like,
get out.
they're bending on it fast.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the next
get it
day.
going.
Yeah, because you don't want the scar tissue to build up and stuff like that.
No.
Fascinating.
I think that's what's wrong with my ankle. That's my excuse for why
Scar
I can't
tissue?
run anymore.
Is it? Well,
Because I never got it fixed.
yeah, I feel you. Eventually, you and Big Tom might be using the same wheelchair.
Stop it. Hey, listen, if I just don't run ever again, then I'm good to go.
All right, listen, get on that elliptical.
I know. Okay, let's talk a little bit about college football. And coming up in our next segment, we'll get back to the Titans. But there's some great sound coming out of Destin.
It is.
Right,
It's
from
good.
these coaches. Who do you want to hear from first?
Kirby.
Kirby. Okay, you want Kirby.
So good, because this summarizes everybody's, I guess, situation that they're in right now. That's a Kirby.
Right, because we're talking NIL, we're talking, players getting paid and recruiting cycles and all of that. So he was talking to Peter Burns and Jacob Hester and that whole group about kind of the NIL and the recruiting
portal.
schedule and the portal schedule. Here's Kirby Smart, head coach at Georgia.
Transfer portal. You want it down to one?
Well, I don't care if it's 1 or 2, really. I mean, I'd prefer 1, but I'm okay with 2. What I don't want is 1 in June. I mean, in April, because I think that's a recipe for disaster, and that's what we're starting to get pushed by some outside conferences that feel strongly that it should be in April. And I'm like, well, what are we doing January, February, March, April when I try to build my team? My team's not built. Like that, we don't
If
know.
I gave you the
team.
date to do it,
Wait,
you pick what day?
Coach, don't you have players kind of could hold you hostage at that point too?
Oh.
And they've already gotten a lot of
it may have
already
already
happened.
Oh, by the way, we got to pay them the whole time. Yeah. Well, it's the first I heard today that there was an idea of, well, instead of paying them those months, we wouldn't pay them. We would only pay them in the season, which is an NFL model, right?
Yeah, right.
You guys got paid, weekly by your games.
Right.
And I'm like, well, now we're talking about January, February, March, not paying them. They would just leave. They would just quit coming to meetings. If they were leaving, they would leave. Like, we need to get our team as quickly as possible. There's good and bad for both. Now, I don't want to act like it's lopsided because people feel like January you can't get them in school because everybody has a different academic calendar.
Right.
We've always had that problem. A lot of complaint, well, we played in the national championship game and we missed this opportunity to get the guys in the portal. Hey, I did too. 2 years.
Right.
Nobody said, well, that's not fair. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of crying from the yacht. You can't cry from the yacht.
Man.
You can't cry from the yacht.
You can't cry from the yacht,
I
Babs.
love that.
That's a line for everybody moving forward right there. Y'all stop complaining about you playing in the national championship. Be honored to have played in the national championship. And Kirby's basically saying, like, adjust the same way that everybody else has to adjust. You were a good team for a reason. The way I almost look at what Kirby had to say, there was almost like NFL teams, right, that win the Super Bowl to go deep into the playoffs.
Right.
Like,
You have
all
less
right,
rest.
You got less rest, and you also get the lesser, air quotation marks, lesser picks as it pertains to not picking in the top 10, right? Like, you don't see Kansas City picking in the top 10. It's like Kirby's basically saying, essentially, it's hard to be good. If you're one of those good teams, you're cruising on one of those big old yachts. You can't complain. You probably win the recruiting cycle coming out of high school or have better coaches and better development is the way I look at that situation. And like he said, like legitimately the idea of like this April portal and being pressured and pushed into a direction that makes you uncomfortable as a coaching staff, like I do agree with him. There needs to be a set of rules in place where you can't just be renegotiating going into the summer. That doesn't happen unless you're holding out like an NFL player does. Like a holdout is different in camp because one, you're under contract and you are also somewhat honoring that contract, and there are repercussions and penalties for if you don't show up. And a CBA is necessary.
That's what I was just going to get to. Okay, like are we headed to is a collective bargaining agreement almost for college football, maybe not all college sports, but certainly college football, maybe basketball, like treat this like the NFL. Is that the answer?
With the dollars, and you got to start there first because a lot of universities are getting burned because of the dollars, right? Kirby just mentioned a second ago, going to a model where you only get paid during the season. That's what we did. Nobody complained about it whatsoever. Why do I have to pay you? I saw somebody put a comment, was $20,000 a month. In January, February, March, April,
Kirby
May.
said
it was
that.
Kirby, right? Kirby Smart said it with Georgia. $20,000.
And also, well, we won't bring up his players' driving problems in the offseason.
But it leads to more, if you want to be treated like adult and be in this adult business, well, here's what you have to do. Manage your money a little bit more. Be able to pay your taxes when time comes. And also, you get paid for the services that we're providing you at that point. Like, it'll be a bigger lump sum that the colleges have to pay out. Like, there's probably a lot of people that got money in escrow to pay guys later. Well, you won't be able to do that moving forward, right? And that's the other side of, like, Kirby saying that. Okay, where's the pot of money that you're paying everybody out of? Because those checks come due, I'm sure, April 1st. Like, we didn't get paid until the season kicked off. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like preseason games.
It was bigger. It was a bigger amount of money.
Yeah, bigger amount of money.
You're not getting paid every 2 weeks throughout the whole year.
Camp checks, like after tax, was $750.
Huh.
Yeah. All right. You get paid for that service or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. We got so much more to get into.
I mean, well, this also leads me to Sark's comment.
That's your favorite friend.
Is somebody out there?
Bert.
Bert's here?
In the hallway window.
What do you call him again?
Your favorite friend, Bertimus.
No, Big Time Bert or something.
Oh, Big Boss Bert.
Big Boss Bert.
Big Boss
That's
Bert.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
He's a hot mess.
Yes,
you know what I always say? He's the smartest redneck ever.
Easily. So underrated with his brain.
Yes. Okay, so before we break and get back into Titans, and if you want to jump in on this conversation, give us a call, right? It's
yeah. Do you want college to be an NFL model?
Right. 615-737-1045. Giles said, well, who's going to speak on behalf of the players? Well, look at the NFL model. You've got the NFLPA that speaks on
Northwestern
the part
tried
of
to do
the
it.
Players. Yes.
Northwestern tried to do it. But there are some concessions that have to be given on both sides to have that type of representation, too.
Exactly. Now, listen, Greg Sankey is gangsta in everything he does and says, and the SEC is going to be the one that has to lead this to make it happen.
Y'all hop in this car. We'll tell you what we're going with.
And this is how it's going to work.
Yeah.
And I've thought about it every single hour for the past, 5 years. That's how Greg Sankey is, and he's so deliberate in everything he does. But that, I mean, eventually it's going to be the colleges actually paying them, not these collectives and all of that. And that's the other step that has to happen as well, as far as where does the money go and how does it all work. But I think it's not amateur anymore.
Yeah.
These guys are getting paid. It's professional. And then let them do their endorsements, their NIL endorsements outside of it. Because listen, Arch Manning is making a crap ton of money,
indeed.
Not from the Texas collective.
But that's also where you can get your off-season money from. We see guys doing Campbell's Chunky Soup commercials all the time, head and shoulders. Like, you're right. Locally, you can do your dealership deals in the off-season.
Yep, exactly, and get your money there. But I want to play this from Sark before we get a break, though, because all these rumors, I mentioned Arch Manning and his NIL and what he's making, And people, I think, automatically assume too, oh, this is from the collective. This is the Texas collective that's paying him and all that. That kid has so many endorsements outside of. I mean, Quinn Ewers with his Dr. Pepper endorsement. You know what I mean? Made so much money outside of it. Yes, but this is Sark on the rumors that his roster is a $40 million roster.
What was frustrating on that was it was a little bit of irresponsible reporting, right? It was one anonymous source said that that's what our roster was. I wish I had 40 million on our roster. We'd probably be a little bit better team than we are. But you know, the idea to think that a lot of other schools aren't spending money to get players. I mean, it's the state of college football right now. It is what it is. And hey, we're fortunate. Don't get me wrong. We've got great support. Christo Connie, our athletic director, does a fantastic job and on our donors, and hey, people are excited, and we've been to the CFP 2 years in a row, and we've had, 20-something guys drafted the last 2 years. So it's been great. It's been a great run. I wish I had about another 15 million or so, though. I might have a little better roster, but so
get two or three fullbacks for 15 million.
What's crazy about this day and age that you guys operate in, and I've watched this for 25 years now. This whole, like, the evolution of Twitter and social media and podcast. One guy writes an article from an anonymous source that says that's what our roster is. Mm-hmm. Everybody ran with it, and I'm talking real publications ran with it, and it was like, that's what's going on at Texas. Nobody asked me one question. Like, okay, sure, but if that's what you think, that's fine. If that's the narrative you want to paint for our team, that's fine. Whatever.
See, journalism with a capital J is dead.
It's there.
So-and-so reported this from an anonymous source. Must be true.
I got a take on his Twitter, too, when we come back from the break.
On Sarks?
Yeah, on just, in general, all coaches in Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating.
We'll talk about that. I will say this. This is what I took from him, saying, I wish I had an extra 15. That means he has a $25 million roster, and they better win the national championship. We're going to break. We'll be back right after this.
It's Ramon Foster for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Good people, right now they have 47% off their non-surgical spinal decompression treatment, man. It's one of the best deals you can have going on right now. Again, Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley will not give up on you. When it comes to back and knee pain, man, neck pain also, Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley are in the trenches fighting and helping you win the battle of pain, man. You guys know I played a very physical game, and that's why I'm going to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. But here's the thing. It's not just for me. It's for guys that have gone to the gym a ton, or moms, or anybody that have those issues where you just been dealing with the back pain, the disc bulges, herniation, spinal stenosis. Go get fixed, man. It's very simple. There are no poking on you. There is no cutting on you. None of those things are being done because they have some of the best technology around as it pertains to their spinal decompression machines, the lasers that they use, or even the zero gravity machines. They will find the best strategy to get you back to your best. So go ahead and start off with your pain-free life, and it is possible. You need to reach out to the company I trust, and that's the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Call them at 615-246-5009 or go to painisbad.com.
Welcome back in, Ramon and Will. 8:28 this morning. Dawn Davenport filling in with Ramon Faster, Savage, and of course we got Jayhawk behind the glass. Good to be with you here in the early morning, Jayhawk. I think I literally have seen you once in the last 6 months. So
For real, right?
Very opposite schedule.
yes, good to see you in person.
Exactly what that is. Opposite schedule.
No doubt. So Seth in our chat, love Seth. But he was like, wait a second, aren't you supposed to be in break? What is this a different clock?
No.
No, Seth, this is what happens when they put me in charge. Yeah. I'm just, I'm like, breaks? Nah.
We're good.
We don't need them. We don't want them.
We don't want them. We don't want them.
Management is just like, oh, God, please do not put Babs in charge of a clock ever.
But I'm going to be honest.
Here's the worst thing. I have the clock right over your head.
Do.
I have an excuse on 3HL because I sit right there where you are. And so the clock's behind me. So I don't ever, I also don't care. But anyway, the clock is literally right there. And I'm like, no, let's hear from Sark real quick. We got time.
We got time.
Let's
and I'm
go.
looking like, okay, well, if Bab said we got time, we got time then. But I will say.
Vandy, man. Breaks? We talking about breaks?
We talking about breaks? Like, they want content, man. We had somebody the other day who was just like, well, you guys must have lost this. And I was just like, no, we are allowed. We got a little bit of a different format that allow us to blow past some stuff. By the way, we're 3 for 3 on this.
Are we supposed to know?
Are we supposed to know?
Are we supposed to blow by them?
No. I think when you hit a certain threshold, there's another time that allows you to go into a different break. But I will say, you're not the only one. Buck and I blew right through.
Oh, I could see that.
We went
Buck had a good old time
through.
on this show.
He did. I enjoyed Buck, man. We don't give him enough credit.
You know why? Because I know he has Lucas, but for a long time, it was just Buck's show, by himself,
Yeah, it was.
I think he kind of enjoys it when he has people to put him in his place.
And I wasn't bullying him the way Lucas and Bert do.
Oh.
Yeah, it was that part. It was pleasant.
I like bullying him.
It was pleasant. I know you do. You're really good at it, too.
Hashtag blame Buck.
Mayor and I blew right through the breaks too.
Oh yeah, Mayor does that on 3HL too.
So we're 3 for 3 is what I'm saying, and tomorrow is Savage Radio.
Yeah, that'll be. Oh, there ain't no way y'all are hitting breaks tomorrow.
Let's see. Here's the issue.
Who's in charge?
Here's the issue though, Babsy. You got 2 former athletes. Well, you are 2, but 2 former athletes that are somewhat rule followers when we have to be. So we might actually hit the breaks tomorrow. Nah.
If you guys hit the brakes tomorrow, I would not be more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet.
Straight up. Okay. Mm-hmm. That makes sense then.
But
I'll tell you who is also getting their head sewn to the carpet. I try to be a radio pro here. College football coaches, as we just talked about Sarkisian
Look at you.
Texas.
What a beautiful transition.
Also Kirby Smart.
What are you, like an offensive lineman or something? Just transitioning?
More cerebral, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
We're more
They're
cerebral out here. We are the smart ones out here. But with that being said, though, I told you I had a bone to pick with the comment of Sarkisian on Twitter, right? Okay. That's super fascinating. Because here's the issue that I have with he's talking about somebody had a rumor that Texas has a $40 million roster, and how there are real publications and outlets, us or ESPN or CBS Sports, whoever, right, that are running with that lie is basically what he's saying. He was just like, Twitter is where everything is the truth. And I'm thinking to myself, well, hold up, coaches, because we talk about the CBA side and we have somebody speak about the negotiating side for the players and the tactics behind that too. There has to be representation on either side for the I guess college football and also for the players. So it will have to be some sentiments or some inkling of a union is what I'm getting to. But specifically on his Twitter comment, and not just towards him, not just towards Sark or, UT Junior or anything like that, Texas, but it's towards their abilities also as coaches to use Twitter to pass out offers to these young players, and they're not real offers. So he's speaking about the lies being told as far as news.
What do you mean not real offers?
They're not real offers. What I mean by this, they'll invite you onto a campus and say, yes, we're offering you a scholarship. But it's also small print at the bottom of that offer, I feel like, more times than not. When I got my offer from Tennessee, from Arkansas, from Louisville, from Memphis, from Mississippi State, Babsy, those were what you expect, okay? I played 11 years in NFL. Right? I'm just not a nobody out here. But what I'm saying is this. When I got those offers in that era, and I know a lot has changed, but that was an offer. There would be a letter of intent sent to my high school through fax, okay, for me to sign.
Yep.
But it was
on
real.
signing day.
On signing day. Coach Cutcliffe.
Not this early signing day crap.
This is a real offer. These coaches these days are screwing over these kids by trying to soft offer them based upon a bunch of contingencies that they have to do. And I'm with that. Like, we've lost in this world of like college football. Yeah. Coaches want and need and just drive to develop. They want the best of the best, and that's always been the case. But there are a lot of guys that are getting offers that know that, hey, that is my dream school. It could be Georgia, right? It could be Tennessee. It could be Auburn. And then about 4 months into it, they pull these offers. Or on signing day, these guys that have, hey, I got an offer from the University of Tennessee or Auburn University. They end up respectfully, I say this, going to UT Chats or MTSU. And you're like, I thought you had a Tennessee offer. I thought you had an Auburn offer. There's a lot of lying that's going into it. So part of me feel bad for how the coaches got to deal with the transfer portal and stuff like that. But the other side of it for me is, well, you guys are doing the same manipulating when it comes down to hopping into the portal and having to pay NIL. Like, everybody's looking for some security. Yeah. And the coaches want it because they want to be able to manage their rosters. The players want it either because they want to be able to go to a place to develop themselves for the NFL or also get some NIL too. And it's just a huge mashup of dumb that's going on right now. And before long, and this is a conversation we're having, they got to get to a CBA to where they can finally have guys locked in. There should be, in my opinion, there should be a 2-year commitment for almost any kid that signs with a school. Barring if a coach, unless a coach gets fired, unless
any coach or head coach,
I would say head coach.
You know, because you've got to define that. Like if your position coach leaves,
I would say head coach.
Are you free to go?
I would say head coach.
Okay.
If there's a head coach change or coordinator change, because that can change the whole dynamic of the offense and the defense. Coordinators
and
change.
Scheme and what you're
all
used
of that type
in,
of stuff. Like going from Jeremy Pruitt to Josh Heupel. Some people might not like the scheme, right?
Shoot, Big Albert Hainsworth that we had on going from, 3-4 to 4-3 that did not fit his scheme. Granted, that was the NFL, but
it was. But that matters though too, because your career can be dead at that point. But coordinators and head coaches change. You have the ability to just move. Is the way I look at it. But I think there should be a 2-year commitment because coaches walk into these living rooms and lie to parents. I'm gonna treat your kid like he's mine. Well, you ask my kid to leave after 1 year. You never do that to your child. So that's the only point I have as far as like Sark saying the social media stuff. They use and abuse it too.
Yeah, I get that. Well, I also feel for these coaches on top of it because you could not pay me enough to be a college football coach
for real,
right now.
I get that.
To manage a roster, to have to recruit your own players, to stay, to not be able to develop talent because at a lower level it's going to get poached and you're going to have to start all over. I mean, just on every level, it is such a difficult job right now because of the portal, because of NIL, because of everything that goes into it, and guardrails need to be put up. That's how it is. And if that's a collective bargaining agreement and it is basically turned into the mini NIL or mini NFL, then that's what needs to happen. You know? I mean, this could be like a 10-hour long show.
It could
talking
be
about it.
100%. We spoke about it, but I'm of the mindset that I'm okay to call college football semi-pro.
Yeah.
Is there? And that's no disrespect also to the UFL. But
Canadian Football League
or whatever. But this is the pathway mostly through the NFL, and there needs to be regulations behind it.
Yep.
But I also say you do what you want when you're popping.
You have a little freedom to do that, right? When you're the big money business that college football is. So speaking of all that, we're going to have Peter Burns on from SEC Network, who just kills it in his job. We'll have him on at 9:20 to kind of talk about all this, talk about Destin, and talk a little SEC baseball, where the SEC is dominant again.
It's going to get spicy.
SEC softball,
Yeah, y'all
dominant
made
again.
it too, didn't you?
What, Auburn?
Yeah. No.
I don't know.
I think y'all did.
Yeah.
I looked it up yesterday. I'm going to go check for you again, okay?
So back when I was at Auburn baseball was so good.
Yeah, I
all
remember.
the time. I mean, Tim Hudson days,
Yeah, no doubt. Those days are long gone.
Diamond Dolls.
Dolls. You also had a Lane Kiffin drop that you wanted to play this morning also.
Yeah, do you want to hear that now, or do you want to talk Titans?
I want to hear it now.
You want to hear Lane
Yeah,
Kiffin?
I do want to hear Lane now.
So we were talking about bullying with Buck. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Paul Feinbaum bullies coaches and coaches bully Paul. But one of my favorite relationships is the Lane Kiffin Paul Feinbaum relationship.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really awkward to listen to.
I love
but
awkward.
This is from the Paul Feinbaum
Make it
show.
weird.
Yeah, yesterday. And it was Lane Kiffin. And Lane Kiffin came on, right, I think it was 2 days ago maybe. But anyway, Lane Kiffin came on right after Kirby Smart. And first of all, that was awkward too, because Feinbaum has just like massacred Kirby's quarterback situation. Just killed it. They're going to be terrible, whatever. And doing it on ESPN. And so Feinbaum started with Kirby and he was like, hey, you probably didn't hear, but, I was talking about your quarterback situation. And Kirby interrupted him and he's like, oh, no, I didn't miss it. Oh, I heard it.
Oh.
Just keep fueling my fire, Paul,
Don't do that.
So, there's always awkward conversations with Paul Feinbaum, and he's phenomenal at what he does. But this one, my favorite from Destin, and this is actually live on air. At the end of it, Feinbaum was like, are we on air? This is where it was. Lane Kiffin and Paul Feinbaum. Check it out.
What were you going to say to those assembled media?
I can't say yet. I'm going to go do that next.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to reveal my whole playoff plan, what it should look like.
You have one?
Yeah, I do, but I'm not saying it on your show.
I don't, listen, I'm fine with
your
that.
ratings.
I mean, this show,
Plus, I'm sticking up for Kirby. I just saw him walking off, and he said, you were mean to him today. Guy's only been to, I just counted when they had him listed up there, 7 of the 8 last SEC championships, and you rip on him today.
I wasn't ripping on him. I was ripping on his quarterback.
Oh, okay.
I was just
telling you, he seemed in a bad mood. You used to piss off Coach Saban, now you piss off Coach Smart. It's like that's why I did your show instead of the press conference. So maybe I could get on your good list.
Oh, sure.
Stay all off season on your good list.
I'm sure every May and Dustin, you think I want to get on Paul Feinbaum's good list.
I really do.
Because last year I don't even think you came by.
That's not true. I always come by. Kyle, our SID, is always like, you don't need to do Feinbaum. Nobody even watches his show anymore. And I'm like, I'm not going to do shows based off of rating. I appreciate Paul and all he's done for me. So,
I mean, are you ever hoping that maybe this will be the last one you do?
No, I'm not. That could be bad. And then, someone fired us maybe.
I mean, what's your buyout? I mean, $80 million or something?
I'm not a money guy like you. I'm just happy to be here. Appreciative.
I mean, are you aware of what you make?
No.
$10 million a year or something like that?
Wow.
Just calling it out.
Let's go, Feinbaum.
Yeah. Well, and then Feinbaum went on to, it was hilarious to say didn't you just, I put you up for every job that's open. I always say, Lane Kiffin should get that job. It's like, I get you a new deal. Didn't you just sign a new deal? And Kiffin's just like, yeah.
That.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like from Feinbaum, don't tick off Kirby. He's the one boogeyman we hadn't beaten yet. And if you're talking about his quarterback, Heisman. That's all. Heisman.
Oh, Feinbaum went in on his quarterback not being the one.
Okay, Kirby.
Yeah. And Kirby was like,
this.
"It's all right. I keep receipts."
Yeah.
Kirby keeps
ticked
receipts.
off Kirby. Yeah, I've heard him on the mic a few times.
Yeah. Anyway, Kiffin
Need
and
to reach out to DJ
Feinbaum.
Shockley again then. So we can
my
piece
guy
this thing
Shock.
up. Oh my gosh, he came on the show last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you had him on? Okay,
Yeah,
he's the
Shock
best.
is
So
good.
I worked with Shockley. We had an SEC Network package for football for 3 years or 4 years together. He's the best. My favorite Shockley story was he was talking about, I think it was playing Kentucky, big game. And one of the Kentucky students somehow got his cell phone number.
Oh.
And this is like back in the day, right? Because
Yeah.
Shock's older. And put it up in the student union. And he was like, I had to turn my phone off. It was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Wow.
Just like text message, call after call. Like, you suck, Shockley. You're going to lose. Don't choke. Like, the best.
It just means more.
Story
It just
ever.
means more.
I'm like, welcome to the SEC, baby.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So anyway, Paul Feinbaum, Lane Kiffin, two of my favorites ever. We'll chat with Peter Burns coming up at 9:20. When we come back, let's talk a little bit of Titans stuff because, well, for one, I do want to talk a little bit about Will Levis because I just want to play some of his sound from
I wanna
yesterday.
hear it.
And you haven't listened to it on purpose yet.
On purpose, I didn't want to.
Probably for numerous reasons, but
I knew it was going to be cringe. This is why I
He's
also
so
advocated
defeated.
for him to be removed because of this.
because he has to talk. Well, especially because as of right now, and I put this in air quotes, they're splitting reps, which, come on. But anyway, so he has to talk. But we're going to play some of those cuts because I feel like he just, like his cat got run over or something. He's just so down and
You never say dog, by the way. I noticed.
depressed. No, I know. I don't like cats. Take a quick break. Ramon and Will back after this.
Hey, it's Will Bowling for my friends at Lee Company. Hey, when it comes to ensuring clean air in your home, Lee Company delivers. Their award-winning team provides thorough whole home duct cleaning services that eliminate dust, debris, and other allergens from your HVAC system. The result? Improved air quality, enhanced system efficiency, and peace of mind. Even better, Lee Company's got a great offer for you as well. Lee Company is offering 10% off a whole home duct cleaning for a limited time. So why wait? Schedule online at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com for their duct cleaning services, or you can give them a call, 615-567-1000. I love working with Lee Company because I love working with local businesses who get this community, and they've been trusted here in Middle Tennessee now for over 80 years. Give them a call, 615-567-1000, and get 10% off a whole home duct cleaning for a limited time. Online at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need.
Well, management was listening.
Yep. Early, too. He talked about the no bath and everything this morning.
Shower.
Oh, shower. My B. You can't say bath. I mean, hey. I don't know what we can say on this network, which is why I don't say curse words often unless I know we can, or like, it's
you
a lot
cannot
of words.
curse.
Well, there's other words, too, I heard that was like...
I don't want to say anything in case there are kids in the car, but...
Well,
damn.
I've had to resort to using jerk instead of like prick.
Oh, yeah. Jerk's much better.
Not really. It's the same thing.
That's what I call my dogs.
Oh, well,
y'all are
okay.
jerks.
All right. Well, I get it. I to me, I don't see the difference, to be quite honest.
What? Big difference.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, what's the difference saying like I went to the doctor and he pricked my shoulder for a shot? Like that I mean, what are we talking about?
There's kind of a big difference.
Nah, Babs. No, absolutely not, man.
Listen, if you need any other words for words you're not supposed to say, just ask me. I've got a whole dictionary.
I'll tell you 2 words that I heard you say this morning that you were happy to say.
What?
You said War Eagle because somebody put it in the chat.
I know. Raider plays 74. What up, War Damn Eagle? Listen, don't hate.
I'm not. I actually appreciate y'all. I do.
You're going to appreciate us a lot more when Hugh gets Jackson's confidence back on track and Auburn football is back, baby. It's coming.
Yeah, right. We were actually talking about one of your former quarterbacks in my recruiting class group chat that I have. My class of 2004.
Okay.
We were talking about when Cam Newton came in as a reliever. He came in as the reliever for Tim Tebow. And they said, we thought we had somebody we were just going to run and just dog out. Nope. You know what Cam Newton did? Absolutely flat back the linebacker. Absolutely. Yep. It was either him or a big DB. One or the other. Cam Newton, it was not a playoff, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It was not a playoff with Cam Newton. And then you got him and won a Heisman.
Yeah. Then he stole a laptop and we...
Allegedly.
Flourished from
Has he
it.
Donated back? I'm sure he has.
I'm sure.
That laptop has been paid back tenfold.
Yeah.
No doubt.
He's good to go.
I
mean, listen, his dad's church was in great shape after going to Auburn, so... everybody that's like, oh, you guys paid Cam this and that and da-da-da. I'm like, best money Auburn's ever spent.
I'm telling you, you know what? Auburn loves football and love the Lord.
Yep.
There it is.
They go together.
That's why college football is played on Saturdays.
War Eagle. That is right.
I'll tell you somebody.
We're in the Bible Belt around here, okay?
We are.
Okay, let's talk a little Titans. What do you think?
You mentioned you wanted to hear the Levis audio, but Paul Mason just walked out of here and said, I heard you running through the clock. So do you want to play Levis audio right now?
Man, no, we've got listen, Jayhawk.
Say lie. Go ahead and lie.
Jayhawk, what's our clock? How many minutes do I have?
Be honest, don't be scared of Babs either.
You got a minute 20 at the latest.
That's bunk. All right. Listen, at least play this for me. I said Will Levis sounds like he's just in a deep, dark state of depression.
No, you said it looked like his cat just got ran over.
That too, because that's exactly what he sounds like. I want you to play cut 58 of Will Levis from yesterday on the feeling of being a backup role right now and adjusting to a new situation.
Yeah. I mean, I think, anyone who's ever been in my situation can agree that it sucks. And just trying to do everything I can to not let it affect me and just, being just the same dude every day in the building and being here for the guys however I can and just trying to get better every day.
If you're back up, Will, you've got the mindset to downshift into what that requires?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been a backup in a while. I don't plan on shifting my mindset at all, regardless of what the situation is. So I'm just going to, be ready to play quarterback whenever my name's called.
Yeah.
Okay, one more, and then we'll digest.
Yeah.
61, Will Levis on his thoughts watching the Titans go after a quarterback in the draft. Sorry, Jayhawk.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of saw it coming. Just felt like I dealt with it emotionally, way before it actually happened. So I didn't feel it really a shock when it did. Wish it wasn't that big a deal.
Oh,
This
AKA,
is
it was a
why.
really big deal.
This is why, Babsy, I
so
advocated.
Yeah.
Trade them.
I know.
This is why I've been
Guess what?
saying.
There were no suitors, or they would have.
You know the biggest issue a starting quarterback can have?
backup?
A loud backup. No, not a backup. A loud backup. And Levis ain't loud.
Yeah.
It's the attention, right? And I know it doesn't bother Cam. At least that's what I've been told. But
Nothing bothers Cam.
Yeah, okay. I'm with that. But, remove it. Remove it. We'll talk more about what he said,
Doesn't he sound
too.
completely different?
We do, but here's the thing. I can talk directly about what he's dealing with. And I'm sure Blaine can, too.
Okay.
We can get into it.
All right, after the break, because we're hitting this break on time, baby.
We're
not
not
really.
We're not.
9 o'clock hour next.
What's going on? 9:01 from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Good morning. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Titans practiced yesterday in day 2 of OTAs, and rookie quarterback Cam Ward spoke to the media after practice, talking about taking advantage of reps despite splitting with the other quarterbacks.
Just getting a lot of mental reps, whether Will's up, BA, or Tim is up. Then also just going through it in my head, the formations, the play call, the motions if we have one. So really just, getting understanding of the full offense.
Tonight, 2 conference finals with final appearances on the line. In the NBA, Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers have a 3-1 series lead over Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. The Pacers are looking for their first finals appearance back when the Reggie Miller-led Pacers lost to the Lakers in the 2000 finals. Tip-off tonight at 7 p.m. on TNT in New York. In the NHL, the Edmonton Oilers are looking to close out their series against the Dallas Stars as they hold a 3-1 series lead. The Oilers, they're looking for their second consecutive Stanley Cup Finals appearance where they lost to the Florida Panthers last year in Game 7. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back in 9 o'clock hour. This is Ramon and Will. Don Davenport filling in here on the morning. Hour 4.
You got your afternoon voice going now.
I do. I've had, 4 coffees now?
4 coffee. You are a quick coffee drinker, too. Yeah, you are. I'm a slow coffee drinker.
Mama's off the chains now.
Yeah, and I think it's because of the Yeti cup. It doesn't naturally cool off and stuff. But, you hammer over there.
Mm-hmm.
Hammer.
Just take me back to my morning news days.
Get in there. We had some fools in here on the break, by the way. I asked Bert, just so you know.
Okay.
I asked him, I said, Sir Bert, or Big Boss
Bert.
Big Boss Bert. I said, Big Boss Bert. I said, do you bless Levis's heart? And he thought for a second. Okay. Because you brought this up, Babsy.
Because before I went to the bathroom, I said, oh, Levis, bless his heart.
You did, because of how he sounds and stuff like that. And Bert said, no, you don't bless Levis's heart, because blessing somebody's heart is because they don't understand what they are. They don't understand that, hey, it's just like somebody that doesn't know they're dumb. Like, oh, you did that? Oh, bless your heart, baby.
Exactly. Bless his heart.
No. And I told you, don't bless his heart. Absolutely not, Babs, because here's the thing. It'd be different if Levis had come into this situation not a second-round draft pick projected to be a first. It would be different if he didn't high slide over Ryan Tannehill and throw the 4 touchdowns and pretty much have the team backing him and saying, hey, he's our future. It would be a bless your heart situation if he didn't get the ball in his hand all of training camp, preseason, and the season, and he didn't have the proper opportunities to prepare himself. It would be bless his heart if he didn't say, I need to rework my brain.
Rewire
my brain, right? It would be bless his heart if he didn't still have this opportunity. Will Levis, to me, is missing. I'm talking about a golden moment. Bless you, Babs. It took you 5 seconds to get that sneeze out.
I know.
Will Levis is honestly missing a golden ticket moment right now, Babs. You know why? Because if it was up to me, because of the situation he was in, like I had a very similar situation as Levis's. I thought I played really well going into my second year. I thought I should have been a starter after that year, or whatever the case may have been. And they drafted somebody in front of me.
Ooh.
First rounder. And I'm okay. But you know what I did? Pulled myself up by the bootstraps, as people like to say. And I went to work. I didn't make it a thing. What Levis could do because of his situation of being a draft pick, being the former franchise quarterback, is if I was him, I would throw it back at the Titans. He's doing everything but saying he loves the idea of competition. He's doing everything but saying how he's trying to advance. And honestly, he's doing everything except trying to throw it back on Cam Ward. If I was Will Levis in this situation where you probably know you're more out the door than you are in, Babsy, I would be like, I love competition. I can't wait to get out there and compete with Cam. Like, yeah, I knew they drafted him, but man, I'm telling you this, he's pushing me and I'm pushing him just as much. I may be pushing him more. And you know what would happen at that point? All the media folks around him would go over to Cam Ward and say, how is Will Levis pushing you more? I would create that more than just trying to sound like I'm trying to hold face till I find my new team. And here's the other part. The NFL is not for long. Will Levis is given a lot of opportunities right now. It's on him to capitalize on this because who knows what happens before the season. I'm not saying, let's say Cam Ward has a broken fingernail. I don't want to go any further than that. But
I was going to say, don't you?
No, broken fingernail, okay? On his pinky.
Hangnail.
A hangnail on his pinky.
There you go.
He's got to at least create the facade that you guys want to rely on me. That's what I did. I went out there and tried to punish every D lineman in practice, Babsy. I went out there and tried to every preseason game, every opportunity I got before I became the starter again was you're gonna miss me not being in there. So much so that the guys who are in right now are gonna want me to be in with them. And I don't feel like he's taking advantage of this. He should be using the media right now more than anybody on that team. Create a little noise. Remember when I said, make it weird? Make it weird, Will.
Okay. I'll also say this, though. The media is coming at him because of the situation, too. What is he going to say?
Push it back. He's a second-round quarterback.
Yeah.
Bert brought it up, like this is his third year. He knows how to navigate these treacherous waters of the Nashville media.
Yeah. Well, and also he played in the SEC at Kentucky.
Exactly. He's in Tennessee Vols land and Vanderbilt land for that matter, man. So that's my point of it all. Like, if Coach Callahan is coming out saying there is no starter, they're splitting reps, like, well, Coach ain't labeled Cam Ward the starter yet. I'm still the guy. I'm still the guy that's trying to make all this hay and try to become an NFL caliber player in this league. Like, he has that opportunity. And you know what? Coaches, he can either create enough chaos to where he finally gets traded or get more eyes on him to it may actually elevate his play.
Well, this is what I was going to say. You know that Will Levis is going to kill it in preseason games. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. He'll probably be playing against twos, maybe threes. Mm-hmm. He's going to kill it. And who knows, maybe someone will be like, oh, hey, we'll take that guy as a backup. Here's your 6th round, 7th round pick. Or as Vandy Man said, I'll take a bunch of Uncrustables, a box of Uncrustables for Levis. You know,
I would be pushing back against that stuff. I'm more than a box of Uncrustables, man.
Hey, now listen.
It depends on who
I'm
you
all
are.
about a box of Uncrustables, as long as they're great.
Oh, yes, there we go. I like the
but I mean, that's good perspective from you, and that's a good point. I mean, on the other side.
That's just the way I feel about it.
And you're right. Do you like that? Do you want to put that as like a
Hey, Travis, hey, harder. You hear that? I don't know how many times she told you that.
He
but
never hears
at
that.
9:09 a.m. on May 29th, she told me I was right.
Oh, my gosh.
But that's just me. Let me know if I'm a bad teammate, though, but from your perspective. Is that being a bad teammate?
No, I get it.
Or is,
the only pushback I have is that...
Please push back. Here we go.
The only pushback I have is that, like, he's in this position to where he's getting asked the tough questions. He's whatever. He's never been one that can handle, that is good at handling that anyway. I mean, look, when he struggled last year and he talked about rewiring his brain, I guarantee you he would pay $1 million to take that comment back because all of us ran with it. But so the only pushback I have is that, like, I get it. And I think he has a different mentality this year, just listening to, even though he sounds defeated, I definitely think he worked with Jordan Palmer, quarterback's coach for the last 7 weeks or whatever, talked about refining how he throws the ball, what he does, all of that. So I think he has the like defeated little bit mentality, but also, okay, I'm going to come in and try and show what I can do to where maybe I can get off this team and go somewhere else and have a chance. But the media's asking him all these questions. He has to answer in some way.
The idea that he said he already compartmentalized that they were going to take a quarterback over him, though, like that showed me he's conceited. Like I said, if he feels like his future's on another team, well, I'm here to tell you, make it weird. Expedite this process is the way I look at it. You have the ability because if they can
How much would Titans fans hate him if he did that?
I don't like him anyway.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's not like he runs out of that tunnel as their day one starter. Like all the PSLs they've been selling for the new stadium, people are getting refunds on those, Babsy.
That's fair.
They already don't like him.
Listen, there's no way in hell he
a good
beats
bit of
Cam Ward out. There's just not. There's no way.
I'm
There's
never
no
a
way.
conspiracy theorist at all. But number one, pick one. I don't even know if the NFL is going to allow that. And I don't think they have any bearings on that call being made.
No.
But this is your opportunity. Pick one, round one. All right, he's going to be a day one starter. Yeah, buddy.
Mr. Babs has weighed in. Forgot he's listening at this hour.
What did he say? He said, I never hear you're right. The next time will be the first time. Listen, Travis, we gonna walk her down, man. It's essential. We just got to start talking about Levis with her. That's all.
We don't need your input, Mr. Babs.
Yeah, we do. I love his input.
Drive.
We text on the side, just so you know.
Hey, what?
Yeah, we do. We got a good relationship.
I don't even want to hear it.
Shout out to Travis.
Stop. Let's check in with Philly Mike before we take a break. We've got Peter Burns coming up at about 9:20, 9:30. But Philly Mike, hi. I never talked to you in the morning. Welcome in, 9 a.m.
Hey, all right. Yeah, first time in the morning. But since Babsy is on, I said, you know what? I'm going to call in.
I
hey,
love
Ramon,
it.
how you doing, brother?
Do it. Welcome in, man. Good morning on this Thursday.
What's going on, man?
Hey,
I agree with both of your points in terms of Levis, wanting to compete because this is the opportunity for him to show what he can do. So, as both of y'all said, that he can get on to another team because I agree with you, Ramon, when someone was drafted ahead of you. When I played at St. Joe's basketball in Philly, after my freshman year, 4 other forwards were recruited. So what did I do? I got back in the gym, worked harder, and I still kept my starting position sophomore through senior year. So hopefully he can wake up and get his act together and just do the best that he can so he can have another opportunity with another team.
Philly Mike, who
Hall
cares?
of Fame also, by the way, Philly Mike.
For Hall of Fame. Go
Aren't you
off
Hall
then,
of
Philly
Famer
Mike.
at college?
Yes, I am. St. Joe's University in Philly.
St.
Yeah.
Joe's,
That's
baby.
huge.
Heck yeah.
You gotta
Dude, he
start
was a
saying that.
Philly
You're no
Mike was
longer
a
Philly Mike.
baller.
Like, what are we talking
Yeah.
about here, man? Congratulations.
Actually, I played from 74 to 78, so I played against Kobe's dad, Joe Bryant.
Nice.
So Joe was a senior
Oh,
at LaSalle when I was a freshman at St. Joe's. So got into the Hall of Fame, scored over 1,000 points, and I love it down here in Nashville. Been down here for 7 years, and I'm still an Eagles fan, but I do cheer for the Titans.
Philly Mike, so you agree with me then? Make it weird.
Yes.
Like, put the pressure
do.
back on.
Yes, I agree 100%, bro.
Yeah.
And Babsy, you sound good in the morning, but give brother Travis a break, okay?
Yeah. Yo, stop. Get out of here, Philly Mike. Out of here.
Thank you, Philly Mike.
All right, take care.
Good to chat with you.
Now, like, I'm not saying like create chaos or just make it like, hey, Will Levis is a problem in his locker room. What I'm saying is by his play and his actions on the field, using the media, get his voice out there. The fact that you said that he sounded like his cat got run over. That's Babs. My mindset is this, and my boys live this too. Like, I'm more of a mental guy. Okay, like I love the mental game. Absolutely. Like I absolutely like a bad moment. Hell yeah, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, my thing is
Let me
this.
dig out.
Yeah, let me dig out because it's a process that's going to make you better. Get it? It's a process that's going to make you better if you're right-minded. My point on me saying make it weird is this. Will Levis saying the stuff that he's saying and acting the way he wants, like acting the way he is right now by being all docile and everything, never let him see you sweat.
You're seeing him sweat.
The moment that I see you blink, the moment that I see you sweat, the moment I see you turn, like I used to try to like lock eyes with guys at times just to see if they put their head down, especially when I got them on their heels, right? Because at that moment, I got you. And if I feel like Will Levis is allowing this fan base, and I say yes, this fan base, this moment that he's in, get him. And you can never do that, Babs. You know, you can never absolutely do that because you never know what your pathway is going to be.
Well said. Well stated.
I hate when guys do that. I do. It absolutely irks the hell out of me when guys do that. Like, dude, write your own story.
Taylor said in the chat, Taylor H., Levis either processes this or he doesn't, but if he doesn't, he's going to be so toxic. And that's to your point. too, a little bit. So there you go. All right, it's 9:16. Hey, good morning to you. If you haven't stepped outside yet, by the way, it is humid AF. As in,
sticky.
after 5 a.m., it's humid. That was a Mickey Ryan toss out right there.
Shout out to Mickey. Man.
That's right. Yes. All right. 9:17. Now we're going to take a quick break. Peter Burns from the SEC Network will join us right here on Ramon and Will next. Stick around.
Two Rivers Ford announces employee pricing for everyone. Every tradesman, every dad, every rising star. You pay what we pay. Two Rivers Ford. Locally owned. American made.
Pump it. Pump it.
That's been you this morning.
Slay texted us and was like, ain't no way she's taking a nap today.
No, you're not. You're not. As much caffeine as you take a sip right now as I talk, as much caffeine that Dawn Davenport has had this morning. But you've lived this life, though. Like, it's not foreign to you. It's just retired, is what you said.
Yeah, I lived this life for 6 years on morning news, which is why I got the hell out of it, to stop living it.
To stop living that life. I'm all for I actually enjoy mornings, though, Babsy.
Well, good. Then this is a perfect shift for you.
It is, 100%. Only thing that gets me is finding my balance of workout time. I was 4 o'clock wake up workout, and then I was just like just dead tired. Then I was just like, okay, let's go 4:20.
Yeah.
4:30, then it's like, okay, I'll work out after work. And like what you'll know, you will crash. I will say, I think you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
Doing this show.
I got to do 3HL today.
Well, it feels like a race doing this show, though, too, because when you do 4 hours in the morning, like you got to be on, you got to give. It's what we do when we do the sports entertainment stuff. So mentally, you're going to be tired the way you want to take a nap. My wife gets on to me all the time. You need to go lay down. It's like, no, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, though.
Well, hey, speaking of busy people, one of the busiest people ever is Peter Burns from SEC Network, but nice enough to carve out some time for us this morning. No video. I was like, I promise we won't even put you on video. You can talk to us from your hotel room bed, wherever you are, talking about how great the SEC is. Peter Burns, good morning to you.
What up, y'all? Listen, I'm definitely team nap. I'm like all in on the nap situation. Yep. Like when you do morning radio, you get in and like I can't do like a 1 hour or 2 hour nap, but you get like a 15, 20 minute like little power nap, boom, you're ready to go.
See, Peter,
that's the way to do it.
We had this conversation yesterday because I'm not a napper. My brother Ron Slay, big time napper.
You know Slay's a napper.
Slay will lay it down, buddy. I could hear that thing from like 3 rooms over when we're at Nashville for the men's tournament.
What's crazy about naps though? Like I'm confused about it, to be quite honest with you. Before we go into this SEC talk, because I thought a nap was 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And I had somebody tell me, no, a nap is 15 to 30 minutes. Like, it takes me 15 to 30 minutes to unwind before I actually go to sleep. So what am I doing wrong, Peter?
No, listen, you're not working hard beforehand. That's what it is.
That's a lie. I can't log off.
Oh. See, I gotta carry Chris Doran's ass every morning on the radio on television. So for me, I'm always exhausted by the time it comes up. But
that's
no, man, you the problem is you get past about 35 minutes, you start getting to a deeper sleep, and then you're done. You're toast, because there's nothing worse than waking up with that like groggy nap hangover, and then you're toast the rest of the day. So like it's a delicate science that I've perfected over the last couple of years.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's key. That's what they say. They, as in the experts, 15, 20-minute naps, perfect. Do you think Greg Sankey takes naps?
Easily.
I don't think so. I think he's like so dialed in. If so, he has the most meticulous nap details ever. Like he's probably one of these people like has a set time. He goes in. He has like this, he naps, and then he'll like journal what nap he had afterwards and how he can increase them.
I get that.
He was on one this week, y'all. Like you here in Destin.
My gosh.
He took a shot a little bit at Playflow at the Big 12 and ACC, but the thing is everybody's frustrated down here. And, I asked the coaches, what do y'all want to change? Or like, they give me 8 things. What do the athletic directors want to change? What does, Sankey want to change? And all of it is every question they ask, and, opens up 3 other doors that have 3 other questions that need to be answered. So, and that's the frustration part is not the NIL, not the transfer portal, although Kirby pretty adamant about wanting to go to one. And I believe that. I think they're more upset with how the college football playoff selection is held. And I'm not saying they want to go to more of a BCS type format, but that was probably my biggest takeaway is that they don't care what the format is as long as it looks like what SEC baseball and softball and men's and women's hoops looks like as far as how many good teams you have competing for a title.
So along those lines and looking at all of this stuff that came out that Greg Sankey has said this week, I'm like, he's just straight gangsta. That's him, Greg Sankey, the gangsta. But was there anything that surprised you with he's so calculated, right? But with the talk of the playoff and the 16-team playoff and reseeding, straight seeding, all of that, was there anything that surprised you that came from him?
No, I mean, I just think that I think everybody realizes that if Sankey was the big bad guy that everybody wants him to make out to be, he could be, right? He has that power. Him and Tony Petitti can say, you know what, screw this. We're just going to create scheduling with each other. We're going to leave everybody out in the dust. We're going to say we need 4 or however many playoff spots, and the rest of y'all, go kick rocks. And he doesn't do that, right? I mean, everybody hates the dominance of the SEC, but the question is when you have the power, do you use that leverage? And if he wanted to, he could. He's trying to tell these other conferences, listen, we're trying to form something that, yes, will give us advantage, but not an unfair advantage because we've worked hard to create that. And by the way, go look at every other sport, and we've done pretty well at it. So I think there's just a frustration that every single thing that they also do, Don, is every step they make, they're worried about, we're going to get sued, because now it's become a big business to sue the NCAA. And so every decision is going to create, this guy's going to get, if you do this, you only have one transfer portal, everybody's going to sue because there used to be 2. So that's just a happy medium that they're trying to find out right now.
We're joined by Peter Burns, the SEC Network. Peter, when it comes down to this 8 or 9 game decision to be made, the SEC accepting 9 games or not, why are other conferences making a big deal about the SEC not having 9 games when I say this as an SEC guy and alum too, the bottom 8 of the Big Ten is not quality play. So why is there a push for the SEC to do when 8 that they have, I feel like, is the 9 that they're playing against?
Well, because they're pissed off that they went to 9 and they didn't get the money to do it. I mean, why would you give the rest of your league, half the league, another loss? Why would you do that? Why? I mean, and again, they'll do that if the committee is gonna sit there and go, okay, I understand that the middle of the SEC is not the same as the middle of the Big 12. Or look at how, absolutely disastrously pathetic the ACC has been, especially on the low end. Same thing with the Big Ten. It's like that bottom tier, that bottom half is not nearly as strong as the bottom half of the SEC. So they look at it and they're like, unless the television partner, ESPN, is going to give you just Ron Slate type money for these games, why the hell are you going to play an extra game and give your conference, a bunch more losses? So they're just upset that they haven't gone back. And by the way, the Big Ten complaining about that stuff, it's hilarious because about 6 months ago, the Big Ten had a report that came out saying, well, maybe we're going to slide back to 8. So again, it's just everybody complaining because they got nothing better else to do.
No doubt about it.
I do love SEC spring meetings, though. I love it, and you guys have had some phenomenal interviews with Doreen and Jacob Hester and all of that. But one of our favorites, and we actually played this earlier this morning, I think in our 6 a.m. hour, but was Kirby Smart saying you can't cry from a yacht.
Oh, that is by far one of the best things I've heard. You cannot cry from the yacht.
I mean,
Kirby was on one. I mean, Kirby, that's, we've had Kirby on for 7 years down here. And every single time he wants to do the last interview and he's just so pissed off. It's at the end of the day, he just wants to do nothing but he wants nothing to do with us, right? And he shows up today and yesterday, and we were talking travel baseball. He's talking his kid. He was in the best mood I've ever seen. And I spent some time, Gene Chizik, the old Auburn coach who used to work for us, lives here, and we went and spent some time with him last night, and he had just got back from Georgia's spring practice, and he's like, listen, he goes, I've seen championship type leadership in teams. And he's like, I've never seen how fluid and how strong it looks in Georgia right now. He goes, that thing is just an absolute. He goes, I remember when Saban had it rolling. He goes, it's as tight of a ship, if not even, even more structured than when Saban had it rolling at Alabama. So, we complain about it, but at the same day, these guys know they can't complain too much. They got 2 commas in their annual salary. They're doing fine.
So
Ramon over here as a Tennessee Vol is rolling his eyes like, why?
Because we've taken down 2 of the 3 big beasts. We've gotten Florida. We've gotten Alabama. And here you are telling me that Kirby has a better run ship than Nick did at Alabama. And you also got Paul Feinbaum ticking him off, talking about how bad his quarterback is. And all it's doing is just pouring coals into the Kirby Smart fire.
I mean, think about what made Saban so good. I've interviewed so many players that played for Saban over the years, and Saban, they would be playing like Tennessee Tech School of the deaf and blind, and Saban would make him think that they were a 74-point underdog in going into that game, and that's what Saban did, was find a way to get that edge, and Kirby has it. Now, I think there are legitimate quarterback issues right now with Gunnar Stockton, not in the fact that I don't think that he's, I will say this. I don't know how talented he is as far as like 5-star, can't miss Joe Burrow type guy. All I know is that he runs that locker room and has respect for his team a whole hell of a lot more than Carson Beck had an athlete.
Wow. With that being said, on the topic of Kirby and NIL too, he made a comment. Recruits, high school recruits are being paid as much as $20,000 to uphold a commitment per month. Peter, how do we see that with this with the meetings going on right now and be solved? Like, are we going to get to a CBA? Like, or do the coaches want that? Also, as this is the haves versus the have-nots. Like, you broke boys over there, you don't deserve to have the good recruits because y'all NIL ain't good.
No, that's a great point, because one of the words that got brought up a lot was collective bargaining here, and I think it was such just an absolute curse word 4 or 5 years ago. Nobody ever would have thought about that, and now I think that there is some momentum. I don't think we're there right now, but like Danny White had said, Danny's like, well, why are we kicking the can down the road? Like, if this is where we're eventually going to get it, like, rip the damn Band-Aid off, do surgery right now, have a collective bargaining part. But guess what, man? We used to have rules where nobody could make money in college athletics. They were still making money in college athletics. You can make rules about all this stuff, and in college athletics, there's still going to be some, money in the church building fund, if you know what I'm talking about. So
Auburn,
it's
best money we ever spent.
I don't know. All I know is that on the weekends, I still see 100,000 people going in Neyland. I still see the television ratings go up. I enjoy it. I'm still as pissed off as when my favorite team loses. It doesn't feel as pure, but I'm not sure if college athletics, especially football, ever felt that pure.
No.
And never will again.
I don't think so either. I mean,
and that's okay. And we still love it.
Yeah, no doubt. For as much as they got, for as much as they're getting now on what we didn't get back then, like, we knew there was a lot of deals. Like I say all the time, like, walking out of the facility in Knoxville and seeing Coach Former's big body Lexus outside, and here I am bombing a ride from somebody. Like, that dirtiness is still there. And I love Coach Former, okay, and Tennessee, but like, it's even now, and the ones that have are the ones that can. And that's just how it is, but there has to be some uniformity about how they are structuring this, because, Kirby even spoke on the idea of Nico Iamaleava leaving in April. That puts a lot of pressure on not just the coaches, but the team. Like, that disrupted an entire squad with that type of stuff happening.
Yeah, you don't know what you have.
Well, and that's what they would say. Say they want to go transfer portal, do it once a year, and that's fine. You get that opportunity to go somewhere. Do it in January, it gets done, and then you know what your team is going for the rest of the year. If not, there's going to be kids that come out there and that transfer in, collect a check, and then all of a sudden they bounce. They're just not there. And, I've seen it in the SEC, and I've seen it in other places right now. So here's the deal. It's like everybody's driving on the highway right now, but they don't know what the speed limit is. And if they get caught going over the speed limit, what's the fine? And so you've got this Autobahn of college athletics right now that nobody's trying to figure out. So, the good news is that the SEC sits in a catbird seat because we're locked in, and we do pretty well.
And the opposite side of it is like, sorry, man. I mean, that's you be better. If you can't figure it out, be better.
Be better.
Tough Shiano.
Okay, I'm telling you.
So you mentioned SEC sits in the catbird seat. That is also the case in baseball and softball. Ties an NCAA record for 9 softball super regional teams. We see what SEC baseball is, and Vanderbilt with the top overall seed heading into the tournament. I mean, basketball's kicking. Like Greg Sankey has just built this conference into an empire, and it's not just football anymore.
I mean, Don, you can argue that college football is the weakest of the SEC sports. Of the big sports. I mean, think about baseball right now with 5 different champions from 5 different schools. Softball with now, especially Oklahoma into the mix, they're on fire. Men's basketball just won it and set the records for 2 teams in the Final Four, amount of teams being selected, and how many tournament wins they had. Women's hoops has been spectacular as well. And like poor little football, little SEC college football, is just hanging around right there, happy to be alive.
Hasn't won it in a few years, Yeah,
I mean it's the 5th best sport. And then don't even get me into like track and field and men's and women's golf and all these other things. So I mean, like, we're doing okay. The bills are being paid over here in the SEC.
On the men's side, baseball, there's so many teams that can win it. Vanderbilt's number 1 overall as far as seeding goes, but you also got Texas, Arkansas, LSU, Tennessee's in Georgia is in it. How do you see this somewhat working itself out? Do you see an SEC team winning it again?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, how do you pick which one, right? I mean, Arkansas was, with the Aloy brothers were really solid. I mean, if Tennessee could field the damn ball and played a little bit better defense, they've got, an ace. They can hit. They've got a little attitude. They're solid. I mean, Vandy was interesting to me because they didn't tear the cover off the ball, but they did everything just really above average, right? They were the number 1 in the field. They didn't have an error all week long in Hoover. They pitched extremely well, had the best ERA. And, I mean, they won a game last week at Hoover. They had 13 hits, and it was 13 singles. Like, it was just small ball and death by 1,000 cuts. And the next game, they hit a couple home runs. So why I like Corvus' squad right now is the way that ballpark in Omaha plays. It's very similar to how the ballpark in Hoover plays, to where it's a big ballpark. You got to kind of do everything really well. And I mean, he's like Tom Amansky, dude. He's got like those drills just like down, and he's pretty solid. I mean, Vandy boys has as good a chance as any.
Yeah. We had Corbs on yesterday. That man, just unbelievable. And I know your conversation with him about the military uniforms too went viral. And I'm like, yep, that's Corbs. I mean, just an absolute leader.
I'd vote for him. I mean, I don't even know what he political deal. I wouldn't care. Like Corbs could be like, I'd vote for him. Like, if you give me a Tim Corbin, Nick Saban, like a ticket next year, like I'm in. Like I'll campaign for both of those guys.
I mean, Ron Slay's been saying Bruce
is going to get done too.
Ron Slay saying Bruce is going to run
Bruce Pearl,
too.
Senate seat. That's what I heard. What are you hearing?
I mean, I was so upset, y'all, because literally I get Bruce on, and me and Doring are just going off the wall. I mean, we're talking about his tanning regimen, and we're talking like the most BS stuff here. And as soon as he ends our conversation, he walks upstairs. I go check my phone, and they're like, and a tweet comes out like, Bruce Pearl, perhaps going to be a senator. I was like, son of a golly, like, how did I not ask Bruce that? So I don't know. Awesome. I think for him, he would say he's honored, but that man is still driven to play to coach basketball.
Heck yeah.
And so I think he's still locked in on basketball.
And Pettiford's coming back too. Let's go.
Sure. Well, that's the other thing too. So many of those NBA prospects are coming back to play basketball in the SEC.
Florida's
Peter, it's going to be spicy.
Alex Condon's coming back. Owe coming
Did he
back.
announce that on your show, by the way?
Is going to play for 25 years. I mean, I'm all in on it.
Heck yeah. All right. Hey, we appreciate you.
Yes.
I know you're busy. Are you going to Omaha, by the way?
Does a fat baby have gas? Oh,
you best believe it. Did Ron Slay get offended by you handicapping him earlier? Yes.
Am I going to take a 20-minute nap after going out all last night with Dory? Hell yes.
Oh,
yes, I will.
Listen, I've been out in Lexington, Kentucky for a Kentucky spring game with Doreen before.
What?
You need like a full day and a half to recover.
Kentucky got good places to go?
Heck yeah, Lexington's awesome.
Yeah, don't sleep on it. I hated it as a kid from LSU. Like I used to think that I hated that place in Auburn, and like every time I go to those places, I'm like, what? These are actually nice people, and the alcohol tastes that good. All right, that was good.
We're in. All right, we're gonna let you go take a nap. Hey, on the way out, let me just let you drop a bomb real quick. Best fans in the SEC, best fan base in the SEC. Who is it?
Well, man, how are you going to do this to me? As the anchor of the SEC network, as Greg Sankey once told me, I love all 16 schools equally.
Okay.
But it's LSU.
There you go. Mic drop. Peter Burns. Go take your nap. Keep Chris Doring in line. We love you, Peter.
Thank you.
See y'all.
Thank you. There you go, Peter Burns, SEC Network. He's so good. And when I grow up, I want to be Peter Burns. I'm just saying.
It's possible.
He was in Hoover. He's in Destin. He's going to Omaha. He's at all the big SEC events. He's living his best life.
Everywhere. You say his name and he has that name, but Peter Burns, yeah, I know what it is.
Because he's the best.
He's the guy.
You know his story, too. Like, he got laid off from radio forever ago and just fought and clawed. And ended up getting, when they started SEC Network, the job.
Yeah.
And look at him now.
I mean, well, look, though, we should have fined him, too, because if Greg Sankey ever say something about anybody, calling him the anchor. I mean, anchor doesn't move. Anchor gets paid. Anchor's the man.
That is true. Jeez. Weren't you the anchor of the offensive line?
Yeah, some would say.
9:45. Good morning to you. We will wrap up this show after the break. This is Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Sing it, Ramon Foster.
I was about to. And then I realized that, like, the music doesn't play on YouTube, so they probably hear a terrible voice. Over karaoke, I'm good.
Like it.
But, like, just doing it, no beat behind it, a cappella, no.
Karaoke song is?
My karaoke song would be Future March Madness. You don't even have any idea. You've never heard this? Or
Who
Keith
sings
Sweat
it?
song. Future, the rapper.
Oh, Future.
Yeah, what are we talking about here,
I thought you
Babsy?
were saying the name of the song is Future March Madness.
Another one would be Keith Sweat, How Deep Is Your Love? I'm talking about love, Keith Sweat. Love,
I can
Keith
see you
Sweat.
getting into that.
Easily.
Okay, so I have a grandiose thought.
Of?
A show.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess not a show, but like a listeners' night out. A karaoke night out with 3HL listeners, 104.5 The Zone listeners. We all go out because we know Slay will sing some karaoke.
He can't wait to.
Right.
He can't wait to.
We know that my go-to song is Warren G. Regulators.
Yeah, I'm with you
Right?
there.
And as long as I don't have like 3 bottles of wine, then I will kill it.
You good to go. There's a balance on how many cups you have. There's a true balance.
See, this is the problem. The only time that Mayor, anybody at work, has seen me do karaoke was after our Christmas party. It was like 7 years ago. I may or may not have had a lot of extra beverages.
Motivation.
Yeah, motivation.
Motivation.
So if you listen to Warren G. Regulators,
Yeah.
it's like a just beat. It's
Yeah,
just a
it
beat.
is. It
So
is.
mount
Warren
up
G
and it's
did a
just a
good
beat.
job.
So if you get off of that beat, like if you're not on like it was a clear black night, a clear white moon, like if you're not hitting it,
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah, 100%.
You're lost, and then you can't catch up because it's just the same thing over and over, the entire song. And that's what happened to me. So I was just standing on the stage,
Bobbing your head.
bobbing my head.
Should have got the crowd behind you.
And finally, like Mr. Babs, like went up with me, and then Mayor came up, and I'm like, no, I got this. I did not have it.
Another good one. Usher, Nice and Slow.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Usher, Nice and Slow is a real
you're
good
slow
one.
jam guy.
Yeah, because that's the only, like, rappers, like, you'd be shocked, like, how quick they go in the pace and the cadence and stuff. So I would go R&B.
Oh.
Besides, you could hear R&B artists a little bit better. Is Brett back there? Oh.
Yeah, it's been really fun sitting in. for
Yeah,
the show
Lucas
with
is
you.
waiting outside the door.
I know. I just asked Jayhawk. I'm like, hey, what's our out time? He goes, now.
Yes.
Sorry, Lucas.
Yeah.
Pen the man. But it's been fun, Ramon Foster. Thank you.
I've
Thanks for
enjoyed it,
welcoming
man.
me with open arms and giving me 12 coffees.
Man, go spread the good cheer about us doing a good job. That's all I ask. But
love you.
Love you too, Babsy. Y'all know at all times, though, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot. Peace.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you.
Unless you're Ron Slay hosting tomorrow with Ramon. Peace.